All right, here we go, man.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. So this is our second attempt at making an episode.
Part deuce. Part
Yeah.
ducks. How do they fucking say that? Part ducks, part deuce, whatever it's called. This is the second time around. I don't speak French.
I'm uncultured American swine. I don't know.
I know things about other cultures. I wouldn't call myself cultured because
I know a little bit about a whole shitload of things.
yeah, but just enough to get me by, but pretty American too.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot of things from podcasts.
A lot of things from podcasts. Yeah. I only listen to like 2 podcasts, really.
Yeah. Well, same. I don't listen to a lot. I'm trying to branch out recently, though.
Are they about murder?
No, I don't listen to those ones. I listen to Joe Rogan because, I'm just like a regular white guy.
I don't listen to him, but he does have, like, I like when he gets, like, the fungus inspectors on there, like, they who deal with, like, fungi and, like, all that crazy shit. I love weird shit. But when it gets political, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm okay.
I like both.
I can't be political.
I like the comedians, too.
I think comedians are good.
The only ones I don't like, honestly, are, like, when he has, like, athletes.
Yeah, I can get that.
That's just my preference. I'm not into sports. I don't know. Can you point that at you? Like the mic?
Yeah.
There you go.
Like I'm sucking it. Like I'm like giving,
Yeah, right down the barrel, dude.
Right. No. Thanks for having me back on, though. I know you could have been like, the episodes got ruined. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, the first episode we did, all the files got fucked up, so we had to like do it again, man.
Living in the 21st, 22nd century, whatever the fucking century we are, and then having that's like first world problems now.
Still 21st.
It's still 21st. Maybe I want to jump to the 22nd.
2101.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done here.
Go all the way to 2101.
I'm done.
It's going to be a nuclear wasteland.
I bet. No, I wouldn't be surprised if we nuke ourselves into oblivion.
Still be radiating like.
I just get there. I just start burning because of all the radiation in there. Yeah. Some poor dude looking on, just like fucking idiot, and then just like explode into nothing.
There's no atmosphere.
No, there's no nothing. I don't think
solar flare wiped us out. Like,
I mean, at least that's neat. At least like if you're gonna die, like in an apocalypse, would be a great way.
Yeah,
to
I
go.
mean, it'd be faster.
Yeah, it would be faster.
If a solar flare like just wiped half the Earth out.
Do you think?
Yeah, that'd be way faster than an atomic like war.
I like how we start this off. It's just like. Apocalypse, so let's go.
Yeah.
Do you think in those movies when the people were just watching up and they're like some of them were partying, like do you think that's based in some sort of realism of people just losing their fucking shit? Like do you think realistically some people would just be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do whatever I want for the last couple hours, or do you think they would just sit in solitude and just contemplate their life?
Most people would just sit there.
I think
most people would just wait. It would be terrifying. Are you kidding me? You would be like shaking like, oh my God. Like it would be hard to like, well, let's crack open some beers. Like, fuck no, dude. Everyone's about to die.
I at least would want to go to a place that was beautiful before I like just got wiped out of oblivion.
Just
like,
drive up north.
Yeah,
just take a nice scenic drive before the world explodes.
You just stand there, your last breath is just in the woods, and you're like, fuck. And he goes, but I don't even think you'd have the time to react to that before like the solar flare is coming, and they'll give you a countdown, but I think they don't really would have a nice projection of like when it's just gonna. It's like you have 10 seconds, dude.
They don't, because like there's been like headlines over and over recently of just like, oh, solar flare, like we might see some interference. Like they have no idea, like, because I just feel like there's a huge factor of unpredictability with these solar flares. Like you just have no idea if it's going to graze the earth
or it's going to completely wipe this
like,
fucking out. Like
yeah, it's hard to see the strength of these things, and yeah, I could get robbed and murdered, but I don't think about that. I'm thinking about like, so what if just like one morning I woke up and just be like, well, that was fun, and like you just get wiped out and you had no idea. And like I'm the type of dude that's just like I don't believe in an afterlife. It's just like when you're dead, you're fucking dead, and that's it. Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah, it's very possible. So it's just like there's that idea of like your consciousness just cease to existing, and you won't think twice about it because you'll never exist anymore. Like it's
it won't matter.
That's a scary fucking thought to me. It's just like the way I believe, and it's just like that's why I'm like, hey, dude, like you know, not YOLO, but like at least have a little fun in life. Like don't go overboard, but like, you know, do some stuff you're gonna remember, because one day it could just like the sun could just give out on you, and you're like, oh.
You think if there was an asteroid on a collision course with Earth that they would tell everybody? Do you think they would keep it a secret, or would they tell people?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, like
I would keep it a secret. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
you think they'd keep it a secret? They wouldn't tell anybody. They'd be like, "Oh, we didn't know."
Yeah,
wow.
exactly. But like, there'd be the one dude who blows the whistle on everything. But then they'd be like, the government
come out later.
Yeah, it would come out later and be like,
Be
the
like,
government like
oh,
knew
they
already.
knew? They
Yeah,
knew the whole time?
They knew the whole time. Of
They
course
knew this
would.
asteroid was gonna wipe out Dallas.
Because number one, they're going to try to protect the rich and elite. Like, period. Yeah. That's what they're going to be working for toward that time. Why would they tell the general public about like how the general public freak out? And, you know, and then the resources are going to now stopping people from fucking rioting in the street because the world's going to end.
Yeah, man.
Why don't they just figure out like, hey, just fuck it, let's just launch these people in space, see how far they can get. The space station's
see
there.
how far they can get.
You know, like give these rich white folks a fighting chance.
The crazy thing is like we're not even close to there yet.
Oh no,
like,
they would just launch them into space and they would just
a
drift.
death sentence. Like there's nowhere to go yet.
Either way,
we can't even survive in space. Like just. But for long periods of time.
Don't you think those people who had the money would still try? Like they would do everything in their power to live. I wouldn't put it past them.
I think the best bet for any sort of disaster is to go underground as far as you can. That's like your best bet. Find somewhere that like never has earthquakes, and then just dig down as far as you can, and like that's your bunker, you know. I mean, it's hard to penetrate the fucking crust of the earth.
I mean, it's not unplausible that something like that can happen, because they do have that where is it, like in Sweden or Poland or somewhere far in a snowy area where they keep all their seeds, like literally every seed from
there's a lot of underground bases, dude. You think the Pentagon is just like on the top of the they probably have like fucking 13 floors of basement.
Oh God, yes, dude. There's just tunnels and tunnels under that shit.
Yeah,
like, are you kidding me? They're like, the White House, especially, there's escape routes under there. Like, no, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, they just have transportation systems in DC.
Well,
they literally just take like a little subway track that's just for them, like back and forth between the government buildings. Like,
there's a YouTuber. He goes to Russia a lot, and he goes into the streets of Russia and then finds fucking ways to go into the underground bunkers under like Moscow and shit. And,
yeah, I've seen a couple of those videos.
They're decommissioned and shit, but they still have power, and it's just like, dude, if you get caught, you're dead. Like, they'll fucking kill you. But like, thanks for letting us know these are down here. Like, and the amount of like in New York, for example, like the amount of subway systems that aren't used anymore, and like who knows where they go now and what they do down there, because it's just like.
You think there's like cities down there?
I don't think there's cities.
Like tent cities, you know?
No. Like for mole people, like
homeless people who live underground.
They've kicked a lot of them out, but I still think they figured out ways to like get around that, because I've watched a lot of those I love that shit, dude. Like, homeless people in New York who live in like the actual like these fucking railway tracks, and then
there's an underground society in Vegas.
There is the mole people, yeah, man, and they really like. I think their whole feel bad for them. Their whole fucking area got destroyed, like. Because there was flooding in Las Vegas not too long ago.
They got to rebuild.
Yeah, they got to rebuild.
They're going to.
Yeah,
there is no way they're not.
No, because I mean that's their home.
They can't buy a house. Like, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go buy a house.
And do you blame them, especially like the way our economy is and like how much everything costs? Like, politics aside, doesn't matter. Just the way everything costs. Like, yeah, a lot of people are fucking struggling right now because like, do you blame these mole people? No, man. Do your thing. Like, Vegas is a shithole anyway. Like, no matter how much paint you slide on that son of a bitch, like, Las Vegas sucks. I love going there, but it still sucks, and I know it sucks.
Yeah,
but
like, if you zoom out, like,
it's shit. It's total shit. If you're not on the main
you're
strip,
zooming out of the strip, like, it gets worse and worse.
Like, every major city in the United States mostly smells like pee. Like, New York, everybody's like, I want to go to New York. I was like, it smells like piss, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I've always wanted to go to Hollywood. It smelled like pee.
Even more so now.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
getting worse.
Help the homeless out, man. Like, give them an area to go to, because
Now all the writers are homeless.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Like,
Don't even get me started on that shit. Like, fucking the CEO of Disney's
so
like, you guys, fuck you guys. I have $9 billion. Where's your $9 billion? Like, the $9 billion
you guys are asking for way too much.
Fuck you, dude. Then you want to use AI to write shit. Have you seen the fucking shit AI comes up with? It's garbage. It's written by a devoid of light bot.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like.
I saw a video just earlier on Facebook of like this AI script. Tom Hanks. It was like Tom Hanks turning into a bus.
Oh my god! I saw that earlier. That shit was hilarious.
That clip is pretty good.
Like if you wanna make something like just super dumb and you'd be like, this is made by AI, I'm not making any money off it because it's fucking stupid. And also the court declared that you can't make it money, you can't copyright AI. It's not real.
Yeah,
it's not a real person.
Well, that's good. I think that's progress, actually.
I think it is too. They said they're gonna make Burn Bright too, because I watched the first Burn Bright. It's evil Superman. Who the fuck doesn't want to see that?
Sure.
But they're gonna be like, the whole thing's written by AI, and I'm like, it's gonna be nonsensical, dude. Like, even if you try to like have another AI rewrite it, it's gonna make less sense.
I mean, it's not like they're creating the ideas for it.
No, they're just taking and most of the shit that comes from AI is already pre-existing ideas mixed together.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it can be. And it's not new ideas. It can't be. Not yet.
If it's just starting, where you think it's going to pull its sources from? It's going to pull the sources from the internet. It's going to pull from like fan fictions and fucking all this all weird shit. So you're going to have like weird
Well, it depends what they want it to pull it from. You know, they feed it the knowledge, so they can feed it whatever knowledge they want. They don't have to use the one that comes from the. What are they using to write it? You know,
write me a Superman movie, but using only Reddit.
Well, what I mean is like, yeah,
the worst Superman movie ever.
Yeah, exactly. Like using only Marvel movies.
Just
like make it totally random. You know,
this movie sucks. Lately, the Superman movies are getting really bad. Most of them are. I was super excited to see Michael Keaton in the new Flash movie. And spoilers: the villain of Flash is the Flash. Yeah. What? You couldn't make it Mirror Master or someone just pull a fucking B-list villain out of your ass. You had to make it the Flash.
Yeah.
You're going to make his enemy him. Why? You've got a shit ton of comic books. We read good comic books, though, so.
I'm not super into DC.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly. DC's kind of like
Did you hear
a little foreign to me.
You've heard of Fables, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hear what happened to that guy?
Huh?
So DC fucked him so hard that he just made all his comics and like The Wolf Among Us, which is like a Telltale game, public domain. He just fucking threw it in public domain, like not gonna make any money off of it anymore because DC fucked him over so bad.
Huh. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, money grubbing assholes, just like Unity, fucking our world. Everybody's like, all these big companies want more money and they're like shooting themselves in the fucking foot.
Yeah, they're trying really hard, and then they overreach just a little bit, and it fucking breaks on them. Like,
if you told me another game company, like, doesn't matter what like business of gaming they're in, would be more greedy than EA, I would laugh in your face, and that's what Unity did.
What did they do exactly?
So now there's like a threshold that you like. It's bullshit. So like, if you say you're a big game developer and even not so, say that you make an indie game and it goes fucking viral. If you say you sell 1 million copies, they're going to start charging 20 cents per download or some shit like that, like every time they download. And they're like, well, we can stop. It's not for reaccounting downloads and fraudulent downloads. You can make a virtual computer off your normal computer and then download the game. Make another one, download the game. There's no way to stop it. It registers just as a new PC. So
yeah,
there's a lot of loopholes. They just want fucking more money from these developers that are already, takes a lot of time and money to already make a fucking video game. They're already using your developing system to put it out. Now a lot of them are leaving Unity and don't want anything to do with them because they're going to charge them up the ass for something that has nothing to do with them. They just, because they downloaded the game, you want to charge them money because they built it off your engine. That's fucking stupid. Sorry, I'm really mad about it, dude.
No, it makes sense.
Because it's just you can relate it to the merch things that bands have to do. The venue, the fucking venue taking money from bands, merch cuts. We're gonna take merch cuts.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't.
They can.
But they can, and they do because it's their fucking venue. It's just the same thing with Unity. It's just like, how can we nickel and dime these motherfuckers that are already like struggling in the world? Like, it's not just one person like developing these games. It's a whole crew of people, and they need to make money off of it too because it's what they want to do, and also they put their time and effort into it. And there's this fucking third party company being like, you know what, we're gonna nickel and dime you this whole time. And like that adds up.
We can make slightly more money if we just
if we
added this little charge in there.
Fuck you. If you do that type of shit, like seriously, if you do that fucking type of shit, you're scummy. You're a fucking scumbag, and I don't give a fuck what you are because you're just showing who you really are.
That's just one of the few things that they do, I'm sure.
Yeah,
there's probably a lot of fucking shit where they're just constantly like, oh man.
The world is like, yeah, it's like our economy is collapsing, but it's just like, we're just gonna charge more. Like video games have gone up $10 in the last 20 years, dude.
Yeah, the people who own these bigger companies, they're just so disconnected with reality. They don't they can't even see how the world is like going to shit.
It's because they bought their house in 1980 for fucking $50,000.
Yeah, and then they continued to make more and more money year after year.
80s businessmen doing cocaine. They did it. They ruined the earth.
I'm really jealous. I wish I could go back and do that.
80s businessman.
Yeah.
Stocks and bonds and be like, sell. And they have big shoulder pads.
Real estate.
Nice. Real estate.
Yeah.
Now real estate is trash. The fucking trash and housing market's trash out here.
It's
you live here and you want to buy a house? No, sir. We have someone from Texas or California coming out here and they have cash money and offering twice as much as you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Yeah. Fun times. I want a house.
It's so fun.
I can't get a house. I live in an apartment because all the houses are $500,000.
Yep. There are no houses that are affordable.
No.
Not right now.
You can go to Phoenix.
Like wait till people start dying off.
Yeah, and that's. But the thing is like we live in a state where like it's comfortable during the winter, so like we just get like the older people come out here and buy, so they'll never die. They'll just keep coming out here because they have more money than us because they had ways to save and we did not.
And it's their like second house.
No, it's their second.
So
it's their vacation home
in the summer. It just sits there all summer.
You know what always scares me about that is like, yeah, you have a vacation home in Arizona. Like, there's going to be like shit ton of spiders that live there now. Like, that's their house. Like, you just lost your vacation home.
Well, you get pest control to go out there once a month in the summer months. Like that's
but
and then you have a cleaning service.
Yeah, I don't think about that because
I'm talking about like regular ass millionaires. There's a lot of them here.
There really
There's
is
a shitload of millionaires in Arizona because it's so nice to live. You just said it.
It is.
Like there's no snow here. So like, we're going to go to Arizona for the 4 months that it's dumping snow on our real house. Like, and they just come to this place and like into their neighborhood in like fucking, I don't know, North Scottsdale. It's like gated and you can't even see their house from the gate.
And they're fucking rude. Like,
out there.
That's the worst thing about it is they come out here and they're rude.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, fuck you. Yeah. I'm going to yell at this poor salesperson because they're not abiding by my ideals of what this store should be. I was like, the kid's 16. Leave him the fuck alone.
Yeah. You don't interact with many people, do you?
No, you, Brenda, you don't interact with more people, do you not? I do not, sweetheart. Please don't call me sweetheart.
Only talk with like 10 people throughout like 4 months.
Yeah, and it's usually their kids and they don't even want to talk to them because your parents are assholes. It just seems like most rich people don't have a grips on like, hey, you're struggling? Here's a candy bar. Like, it's just...
Yeah, dude. I used to work on pools. I used to help build swimming pools. I was the electrician. And I would go up into all those neighborhoods up in North Scottsdale and like do these crazy ass custom pools on these crazy houses. And dude, some of the people were just like, I don't know. They were just like from another planet, dude. Just like the homeowners. Like if you ever saw them. Most of them weren't even there in the summer, you know. It's just way too hot. But
did you ever have intrusive thoughts be like, if I rewire this wrong, they'll just die in a fucking pool?
No, I mean I didn't have any like resentment towards them. They were nice weird. They're just odd, you know. Like you don't worry about money. Like that changes you like a little bit.
I guess
you don't have to worry about surviving next month.
No, I guess that's very true. They don't have to worry about am I going to have my home next month, or like is my car going to break down, or like, oh, a pack of ramen noodles is $3.44 now. What the fuck? And I'm exaggerating, of course,
but I mean, like, they don't ever have to consider any of that.
No.
So it's like your priorities, like the priorities just shift. They're just wildly different from person to person. Once you don't have to worry about rent and like your car payment and shit like that.
You know, I know what's shitty is like being a musician in this day and age too. Like streaming, like those royalties that like people receive, like is fucking straight garbage. Like, you know, I'm not a Spirit Box fan, but like you know, you hear Courtney talking about having like a normal job and then going out on tour when they're a huge band. She shouldn't have to worry about working a normal job and going out. And like, because your tour's hard. Like people see like the glitz and glamour of being in a band, but there's like a lot of like bullshit that comes with being in a band. And like for Spotify to be like, here's 2.00.2 cents off every play, it's like you're getting a fraction of a fucking penny. And then these people who are making, you know, millions and millions of dollars off these artists, like even bigger name artists that like don't play anymore, are struggling because all that stream royalty, they're making shit off of it. Like 1 million plays is like $3,000 or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous? Much the only way to make money is merch.
Consistently tour and merch, like, because you'll pretty much, if a promoter is bringing you out there, they're going to give you a guarantee. If you're a national band, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you're going to spend that money on touring, gas, food, like all that shit's expensive. So like they should honestly pay like a decent wage for streaming, because that costs money too. Like labels don't do what they used to do anymore. They don't. They're more for distribution now, unless you're like Taylor Swift or fucking, you know, somebody big like that. Like
she has her own fucking label anyway.
She doesn't have to worry about jack shit. Like
she has too much money to be saddled down by a label. She got fucked by a label. She's doing all her own shit right now. But
what I'm saying about her is like she's like, you know, well beyond the point of just like she's self-sufficient. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
In a world that it's hard to be self-sufficient in now.
I think that there are more and more opportunities opening up for that though, because people are like kind of getting tired of the fucking big label.
Oh, I don't want to
kind of bullshit. You know what I mean?
That 80s mentality and 90s mentality of like you need to be a label to be successful. The DIY aspect of everything is what our whole society is built off now for music. Like unless you're like, you know, maybe in like the hip hop scene is more catered to labels because they do a little more for you, because you know you don't have the type of. I feel like hip hop and metal have kind of like a different aspect of working out. Like,
metal is kind of unique.
Yeah, it is. It really is how you have to operate. Like I feel like a label is more necessarily for like hip hop, and I could be wrong on this. Don't fucking quote me.
There's just not a lot of metal labels.
There's not a lot of other metal labels, and they usually just don't fucking do anything anyway. Like
or they'll do a very specific type of metal.
Yeah, or like
everybody's totally different in the metal scene. Like
I've noticed that like a lot of metal bands like usually just get with a label to get a vinyl printed. You know what I'm saying? Like you usually work with you to get a vinyl done, and that's pretty much the extent. They don't do like we're gonna pay for your hotel and here's your tour bus and all that other shit. Unless like I think the Black Dahlia Murder still has that type of deal with Metal Blade, but they've been around with them for like 15, 20 years too. So like
they're kind of writing the book.
Yeah, they're writing the book, but goddamn, I'm so happy Brian's taking over for fucking. After rest in peace, Trevor. But I'm just saying, Brian's a good replacement. He's the only dude that could fucking do that. But like,
absolutely.
I feel like now, it's like if you weren't like kind of grandfathered into that, you know, sort of aspect of that label, like they don't do the same things they used to. Like you remember back in the day, you used to hear about like, oh, they own this label, you know, hair metal bands are with this label, Warner Brothers or shit like that.
Yeah.
And now that's not a thing anymore. Like those things do not exist.
Yeah.
There's no band out here going, we're going to go trash a hotel room. It's like, no, we're not going to trash a hotel room because we have to pay for it. Like, we're not going to do any of that sort of shit. You guys going to get into trouble tonight? Nope, not one bit, because then we have to pay for it. Like, we don't have some fucking record label with fancy lawyers going to bail us out or anything. Not saying that I want to do that shit, but there is some, you know, that whole mentality of that whole rock and roll lifestyle is fucking dead.
Yeah, well, rock stars aren't really, like, prevalent anymore.
No, rock stars aren't a fucking thing anymore.
You can do that if you're, like, super popular, like, hip-hop. Sorry, you could probably trash a hotel room.
Yeah, but that's part of like that general aesthetic too. Is like or
like a athlete or something, like a star athlete. If you like trash a hotel room, you'd probably be okay.
You don't hear people trashing hotel room. Doesn't matter what genre they're in anymore. And like you don't hear people like in today like somebody threw a fucking TV out a window. You just don't hear that anymore.
Well, no, there's a lot of other things to talk about on the news.
That's true. Yeah.
Somebody throwing a TV out the window. People do that shit all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Today's on the news. Becky found Jason cheating and threw his TV out the window. More at 9.
Yeah.
All right, like, I'm trying to reach over, grab a drink.
Sure, man. I've been drinking the whole time.
G Fuel, unpaid sponsor for this podcast, but you should sponsor it.
And Gundam.
Yeah, let's give it up for Gundam. I would never join the army, but the minute they're like, we have Gundam wing mechs, would you like to join? Would you do have Gundams?
Hard sell, man.
I would be like, let's go. Okay.
Like,
or
do
like,
you still have to shave?
do you have to shave? I'd be like, maybe at that point, like just to fucking pilot a Gundam, I would. To pilot a fucking Gundam? Are you kidding me? It's just like
that. Yeah, maybe, probably.
You have to shave and but you get to fly Death Scythe. Like, okay, fucking, let's go. Like,
I think the biggest problem with Gundam, like realistically, is the G forces.
Oh yeah,
you'd be dead. You'd be like pink mist inside of that robot.
No, you would. You really would, and that's like the problem with it. Like, there's no there's nothing that could stop you from just being.
Yeah, just as soon as you jump sideways, you just
crack. You break your neck.
He's just dead. A pancake on the wall.
I mean, shit. Even like a super suit, dude. They're like, hey, we have like ODS gear. You're like,
like
okay,
Spartan Mark IV.
Yeah, like you just get like, can I customize it like in real life? Like you get your own personalized helmet and shit.
Did you ever read the Halo books?
I did not.
There's like a part in the Halo books where this is like the first 4 are really good, and then it just gets weird after that. But like in the first book, they're like talking about how they developed this armor, and they can't, like nobody can use it. So like they've tried to have people use it, and like every test, somebody ends up like breaking their limbs.
Ooh.
And then you react by twitching, and you just keep twitching, and like you break all your bones, and like people have died like trying to use this suit, And so they genetically engineered children to be strong enough to wear this type of technology, like this armor.
It's always kids, man.
Yeah, and that's like the Spartans. That's why they're like 7 feet tall, like standing, like towering over all the other people, because they're genetically modified like humans. Like their bones are like steel.
Fucking like, what happened to your kid? It's just like the government took him, and now he's like this fucking monstrosity.
Yeah, they did. They literally just went out to the outer colonies and scooped up a bunch of kids. Like,
we see that you're poor. Is this your child? Was your child? Here's a loaf of bread. Like,
he's gonna be a hero.
He's gonna be a hero.
Like,
whether he wishes it or no. Like, you're like, fuck you, dude. Maybe I just wanted to be a cook, or like, maybe I want to plant flowers. Like, I don't want to be a killing machine, but here he is. Like,
they explain like that whole scene in the book. I just forgot how it goes. Like, I forgot if it was like sketchy, like they threatened or blackmailed or something, or if it was just like, they willingly were like, yes. Like, let my child be a hero.
Let my child be a hero.
I don't know. I forget how the thing goes.
They don't mention the torture ever. They're like, he's going to be a hero, but they're like, we're not going to mention that we're going to torture him.
Only 50% of the children survive.
Yeah, like that.
By the way,
and like, we'll send your kid home in a nice box if anything happens to you. But
I think it was like 25%. Like 1 in 4, like 3 and 4 of them died. Like it was crazy. Like it was bad. Like, and they covered it all up. And course. Like the secrets started coming out like during the war, of course, like it's like this whole like backstory behind the just shooting aliens part.
It's just really it's like cool. It's based in realism, and this dude's like, I know secrets, but I can't say it, so I'm just gonna make this out right here.
Yeah, like I can hide it in the story of a video game. Like,
no one would
actually
ever know.
Happening.
You know what? I think half the reason, like now that we're on that subject, I think some of the reason that half the people like blow whistles, and like some of them I feel like are legit, except Bob Lazlo. Fuck that dude. He's literally a crazy person.
Bob Lazar?
You
think he's crazy?
I think he's a nutcase. But I think
it's pretty convincing.
I think there's some people out there, like, I'm just saying this so I can get this out so I'm not fucking killed and you guys all know that I'm alive. Like, there's aliens. They're like, oh, he's a crackpot. But, like, really there is, like, some sort of, like, conspiracy theory. But they just want to get it out because they don't want to be offed. And sometimes they do get offed. Like, they just go missing. And you're like,
if they don't reach enough people.
No, they don't. No, literally. Like, they do not reach enough people. And you're like, all of a sudden this homie goes missing. Like, fucking water engines is a possibility.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
like there's been a couple different stories of people like working on it, and then all of a sudden, like either they don't work on it anymore, they just completely change careers, or they go missing entirely.
Exactly,
like one or the other.
I think there is ships that we do own, and they still are trying to figure out the logistics of how they work, because there's no fucking possible way that we're not the only ones in the galaxy, let alone the most intelligent. We're probably the dumbest, if you want me to be realistic.
Who knows, dude?
Yeah, who knows?
I mean,
But like, I think people, how do they crash here? They crash. People things crash. That's just how things work. Gravity comes into play. Maybe
we
they
don't
don't know the
we
gravity.
don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
To say it's impossible is ignorant.
Yeah, to say if someone's like it's impossible that they crashed here.
How?
No,
How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know? It's
Like, who are
impossible.
you?
Yeah, like
Who are you working for?
tell me.
How
tell
do you
me
know
your
so much?
secrets. But like, I think that like two possibilities is one. I know aliens exist, but I think a lot of our technology comes from a previous generation of us. Is like I think the Earth's reset it like 60 bajillion times because we're just idiots. Like we get to a certain point in civilization and then we just nuke ourselves. And the aliens are like, where are they at in their timeline? Up, here we go. They're getting close. Let's see if the same thing happens again.
Yeah,
like, and I think that's why they
like
keep
a petri dish they're observing.
exactly. Then they can keep like, okay, let's see what happens again, and then it fucking. We nuke ourselves in oblivion and we just reset again and just like
You think we nuked ourselves?
I think we destroy ourselves, honestly. I honestly think that we destroy the earth so much or some we cause something. There's no way that the
You
human
think we drew that comet impact into the earth?
No, not the maybe. Like
I don't know, maybe, dude.
But I think that
We don't
like
know.
that like with the cross between us like depleting our ozone layer and shit like that, and then like the way the earth's been working lately, it's just not the same. Like people can say like, yeah, global warming doesn't exist, but why is it 50 degrees hotter now than it was 100 years ago? Like why people in England that never heard of the need AC now? It's just weird. Like I just think that we're causing our own cataclysmic event because we're parasites. We are literally parasites on this earth. Like we have drained the earth's natural resources like oil and all that shit like for fucking years, man. Like we've dug into the earth, we've fucked with the I'm not a hippie. I'm not like save the earth. I'm just saying that we're parasites regardless how you look at it.
I think that there's a lot that we're doing, but I like to the climate and all that, but I think it's more like locally. I don't think we're ever going to drain the earth of oil. I don't think we're big enough for that. I think the earth is much bigger than humans. Like there's only so much of a dent we can make on this planet with like the amount of space that we actually take up. There's so much empty space that we don't take up and a lot of things that happen that are out of our control. Locally, yeah, things are getting way hotter, dude. All this concrete, it doesn't like taking out all the trees, just deleting entire forests and shit. Yeah, dude, that's going to fuck up some temperatures and that's going to have chain reactions, right?
What's your problem with trees?
But,
stop with the trees. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
trees.
They take water and water's expensive,
Yeah.
And once you make more concrete, it doesn't rain as much because there's a column of heat that drives clouds away, shit like that. That's why it doesn't rain in the middle of Phoenix as much.
It. I live in Tempe.
Yeah, it doesn't rain, dude.
It's just a concrete general.
Yeah, because there's just a column of fucking heat from the concrete that just the clouds go around it.
My Facebook lights up with everybody being like, it's raining, and I'm standing outside, and I was like, it's just hot.
Like, yeah, I can see that over there and over there. You could see the rain falling in other places.
Yeah, I can, and I'm just like sad about it because I'm just watching it from like afar, and I was like, I want rain.
That's just happening more and more, and like because that water's not falling into the ground there, it's having a chain reaction to everything around it. Like, yeah, so like locally near metropolitan areas, near a lot of people, like where there's people, like fuck yeah, we're fucking up a lot, like huge swaths of land. But as far as like the ocean temperatures getting hotter, I don't know if that's us. Like that could be anything. Like that could be with the sun. That could be like, some geothermal event like under the ground. Like there's so much that it could be. I don't think it's us, man. Like the ocean's fucking huge.
Either way, we're all gonna die.
Someday?
Yeah, someday.
Man.
So
honestly, when it comes to asteroid impacts, it's just a when.
It's just
it's not an if. It's a when.
It's a fucking scary thought, too. That is such a
we've
fucking.
We've had a very long time without an impact.
We have, and in those even the smallest meteor has the most devastating effect on the land.
It's gonna be a fucking nuclear bomb. Just boom.
It's just like there's a what's that project called? I don't know if they're still doing it, but they take the steel rods and they shoot them from a fucking satellite and just ping them to the earth and shit. Like that's just fucking meteor, man. That's all that is.
Drop a piece of tungsten from orbit. Yeah, dude.
And then the damage it causes is fucking ridiculous without leaving any radiation behind because they're not nuking anything. They're just fucking destroying.
Yeah, dude. It's just literally velocity. Just boom, mass times acceleration. Just
don't create things like that. Like we're already like
it's so cool though. I don't know.
it is. Oh, it's so cool. Like don't get me wrong, it's fucking so cool.
It's so
but like,
cool.
but like
it is just for destruction.
Yeah,
that is the
just
main.
for
The main
destruction.
purpose is to fuck shit up.
Yeah, like it's just, and it's terrifying, dude. Like,
Hell
like
yeah,
this
you would
stuff-
never hear it. You never see it. You wouldn't hear it.
You would hear a whistle, and that's maybe about it. Maybe it's like
It's going way too fast for that. You're fucked.
if you catch it,
It would be like,
yeah,
that would be a. It'd be like a hiss. Boom.
You wake up, everything's white. You're like, what just happened?
Where am I?
You're being reborn
man.
into a butterfly. Here you go.
Yeah.
That's why I like coming to talk to you because, yeah, we could talk about band shit all the time. I play in a band, I do music, but I like talk about weird shit.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, like
Everybody talks about weird shit on here. That's fine.
isn't that good though? Like,
yeah, it's good. I like it.
it's the weirdest
Like-
thing you've talked about on this podcast so far.
Dude, that's hard to say. I don't know. Like, I mean, there's a guy who. I mean, I did a whole episode with the superhero Captain Sarcasmo.
I love
that
him.
whole
Oh,
episode was
God.
weird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's a
You know, like, so it's hard to say what the weirdest thing was, but
he's a fucking goober, and I love every minute of that man.
That was awesome.
He's a good. Today is the day. Usually once a year, I like to ask for pictures of Spider-Man. So today's the day, and he wrote on there, and he's like, "Why do you want pictures of Spider-Man?" And I was like, "Well, you're the best superhero. There's no doubt about that. We've got that covered. You're the best hands down superhero. But I'm terrified of spiders. Spider-Man is the only spider that I can enjoy." So I'm gonna enjoy Spider-Man. Now, where are my pictures of Spider-Man? Like, like that's the reason I like Spider-Man so much is because I can't like physically enjoy spiders, and my wife has 4 of them.
really?
I live in fear constantly.
She
got
do
a
that on
fucking-
purpose? Or?
She's a goth girl. I married a goth chick. Like that's what you get. Like
she
all
just likes
these
spiders her
yeah,
whole life?
Yeah, she's like spooky, kooky stuff. Like that's what the goth
Yeah.
girls
Is
are
that all
into.
she has is tarantulas? Or
We got cats too. but-
wait, are they spiders or tarantulas?
So 2 are jumping spiders and 2 are tarantulas. And there's
Okay.
a tarantula. She says it's not that big, but I swear to God, I can see this motherfucker eyeballing me from across the room, being like, "You better not take me out of your sight."
like a Minecraft spider.
Yeah, like yeah, that's how big it is in my head. Like you know in Home Alone when he picks up that tarantula, that's how big it is in my head. I don't think it's that big, but it probably realistically is to me the size of a puppy. And it, like the other 2, I'm okay with. Like they're not they're fucking terrifying to me, but I can kind of get over it a little bit. But that fucking huge monstrous tarantula that lives in my house scares the fucking shit out of me, and I will cry if that thing ever gets out.
Does she just leave it in there all the time, or she
Oh,
pick
she
it
has a
up?
nice tank for it. Like it has a nice vibe. No, she takes it out. I
handles
believe.
it?
I fucking get out of the room. I'm out of there. I'm done. Like I'm like downstairs.
That's cool. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I would never have one just because like I don't like the maintenance. I don't really care for the maintenance of like. I already have like 2 cats and a dog, man. So it's like that's enough. If I had different kinds of pets, that's a new set of equipment, new set of supplies I need, and it's like fuck, maybe a fish tank someday. But like, I don't know about
Here you go, Jeff. Here's
I
some
don't know about
fucking
like
fish food.
tarantulas and like reptiles and shit like that. Like I'm good.
I'm the only things I'm scared of is horses and spiders. Those are the 2 things that
Horses.
I fucking hate them. They have human teeth, man. Like fish with human teeth. Like there's a fish out there that has human teeth. Horses have human teeth. That freak me the fuck out. I don't know why. They just do. Okay, so
That's
a horse
strange.
and I have AI'd like images. It's like what does a horse and a spider look like? Just for curiosity, and it's terrifying. It's absolutely the most fucking horrific thing I've ever seen. But yeah, for like owning other animals, I'm cool with cats, man. They just take care of themselves. They're self-sufficient. I got to clean out their box once or twice. Even a
Yeah.
dog, you just take them out and they kind of just, you still got to love them, but I'm not having to take them out of their cage, clean their cage out, and like certain pets take certain maintain, or like you've heat lamps, which cost more money for electricity. Like there's a
You need
lot
to
of
watch
shit.
the temperature and like pay attention to what time it's on and when you turn it off. And
It's too much.
Yeah.
Like if I kill an animal, I'm gonna cry, dude. Like I don't want to be responsible.
Exactly,
like,
dude. That's it. Like I'm responsible for its life.
I have a
like,
fucking kid, and that's already fucking worrisome enough. Though you think
Yeah.
animals are bad, man? That's a whole new. It's just like your whole life spending about like, is my kid okay? Like, what's gonna happen to my kid? Did anything happen to my kid?
Yeah, I was talking with Connor on the last episode about that. Like,
Oh yeah, the fear of being a fucking parent is unreal
yeah,
because
he's just super. He said he quit smoking weed because whenever he smoked, he would just get super paranoid about his kid.
Oh,
Like,
I can fucking
oh my
see
god,
that.
I can't. What if I'm super high and something happens? Like I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And like, so every time he smokes, he feels that way. He's like, he can't do it no more.
Luckily, my daughter's 7 now, and she's not a baby anymore. Because a baby, you just walk in the room and you just stare at the fucking child, and you're like, "Is that thing alive?" Because it'll just die for no reason. Like it could just.
It's been known to happen.
Yeah, just what happened to your kid? It just died. Just fucking died. So like, I always had to live with that fear. Like, is that fucking kid alive? Did she just fucking die? Like that is. You wake up in the middle of the night and like a cold sweat, like looking at your kid, like just like because you don't want to touch her because you don't want to wake her up because then you're up for hours. But then you're also like, if you don't breathe in 2 seconds, I'm gonna fucking wake you up. I'm gonna do what? Fucking leave me alone. I'm alive.
You're like, oh God, thank you, Jesus.
Being like when people are like, I don't want to have kids. I'm like the one person that's like, no, have kids, dude. Like, don't anybody tell you because there's a whole new set of fears that come along with that bitch that you do not prepared for. Yeah. Like you thought you're worried now. Fuck you. You'll have new worries that you don't even want to worry about, but you can't get them out of your head because it's like a logical fear to have. But I don't
think society's preparing people for that.
No, they
aren't. I think that's
like,
why people aren't having kids. Nobody's prepared for it at all. Not even close.
I mean, I'd still have my kid. Don't get me wrong, but like if I could be warned, like you'll have a new set of fears, like to even like you can't get out of your head. Like okay.
Well, I'm not saying like people shouldn't do it. You know, or that like,
oh, no, if you know,
I think people need to have kids or, you know, the earth is gonna humans are going to go away. Like, please have kids, like at some point.
But like I'm saying, like those people that don't want to have kids, but people are like, you need to have kids. Like, no, you don't have
it's
kids.
Your choice.
There's going to be Jeff and Brenda in the trailer park. They're going to have 6 kids. Okay. Yeah. So they'll balance it out for one. And one of those kids, 2 of those kids will at least be super smart. I guarantee it because I do not want to live there anymore.
One of them is going to decide they don't want to live there anymore.
Yeah. The other 2 are going to be like, whee.
I mean, that's not a good ratio though.
No, but I mean, at least I listen to a podcast from out here. They're called Small Town Murders, and they're like a comedy podcast that talk about these small towns with these people, and I'm like, how do these people exist? Like these like. It's like there's no like outside world outside these little towns. Like it's fucking insane.
Because the cops are one of them.
Yeah, the cops are one. I've known little Jimmy since he was a little boy. He ain't going nowhere. Like
the cop before him was his dad.
Yeah,
like, you know. So it's like there's been one cop in this town.
but the murders that get committed in these small towns are fucking insane. Like. Homeboy thought zombies were gonna come after him, so like he trained his kid to like kill zombies, and then the kid kills him, and then because he killed his brother. Like I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Because your dad thought zombies were real.
That's like, meth, dude. Yeah, that's fucking meth.
Oh well, yeah. There were,
like holy shit.
And the funny thing, like before that, like he was a standing up citizen gentleman. Like he started, like he was like running for like office and shit.
So it was like schizophrenia or something.
No,
like
it was meth. It was meth. He started getting the drugs because he started losing and shit. But like these small towns get introduced like that. A lot of these towns are like factory towns that closed down and just been rotting there for fucking half a decade, with these same people living there that just haven't left,
clinging on
for the American dream that was once there, and it's just dead. Like, and the towns are sad, man. Like you go in there and they're ghost towns. Like you go on YouTube and you
like look Prescott.
Prescott's I would say
Prescott's getting there, dude.
It's getting there. But have you been to Miami, Arizona?
No.
Okay, so Miami, Arizona is a small mining town right outside the globe. People who live there are fucking great. They're great people, but they've lived there their entire lives, and like half the town is like closed down. There's one restaurant, one gas station. Like we filmed our video at the YMCA there. The lady who owns the YMCA is really good, but like you'll go walk through the town and you can go to the local saloon out there because I think it's closed down now because it's really starting to go down. But they'll tell you, like, they used to swim in that YMCA when they were a kid. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, these people just, like, haven't left, and it's just because all they know.
I can't imagine that. Dude.
No,
I have to go somewhere. Like, I don't know how much longer I can stay in Phoenix. Like, I got to, like, go travel a little.
If I didn't have a band and, like, my kid out here and shit, like, I'd probably move to, like, Maine or some weird state like that. Maine's beautiful. Oh, fuck,
it's beautiful in the summer.
I like the cold too. I love just give me a harsh winter, dude. Like I'll just hang out in my house and like.
Have you lived in the snow before?
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey, so I grew up with snow my whole entire life.
Nice. When did you move here then?
Well, I moved from New Jersey to North Carolina around when I was like 12 or 13, and it's still cold out there. So
yeah.
So then probably when I was about 16, I moved out here. So I've been out here for quite a long time now. Yeah. But like I still love the cold. I go out to fucking Flagstaff every time it snows because I'm just like, let me freeze, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind like the cold itself, like feeling cold. I don't care about that. Like I can be cold. I'm fine. Like playing in the snow is fun and all that. Living in the snow is different, dude. I fucking hate shoveling snow. I hate all the slush on the side of the roads and shit. All the mud. Weird. Like I fucking hate all of that.
Like my ideal place would be like, hey, where do you want to live? And it's like there's a forest over there with a cabin and it snows all the time. But you're never snowed in. It's just a perfect amount of snow. And like, yeah, you got to shovel because that's just comes along with it. But I enjoy snoveling. I'm out in the snow just fucking with headphones on being like, da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, the snow's cool, dude. Like a fresh snow covering like a field, like it looks unreal, dude. It looks fake. It's like, what the fuck?
Do you notice the older you get, you're like more drawn in the scenery? Like when, like I don't know if your parents ever went on any trips, but they're like, look how beautiful this is. And a kid, you're like, that's just a fucking tree. Like
I was in Boy Scouts. I did a lot of hikes and a lot of like trips.
Did you enjoy it?
Adventures and stuff. Yeah, it was cool. Our troop wasn't like super like uptight on rules and stuff, so we were like pretty bad kids, dude. We were like fucking having rock wars and stuff like that, and like lighting fires and
that's normal. Like, that's normal boy stuff though. Like
that's you looked at the other troops across the campsite and you're like, those fucking losers.
But I would want to
nerds.
I would want to be like the goobers. You know, I want to be the weird kids. I've always wanted to be with the weird kids.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fun troop. You know. You're just like talking shit to each other all the time. Like it was like just hanging out with the boys. Like
it's the camaraderie that you're all about. Yeah, like that shit. I think when you're growing up, like I noticed that because I have a kid now, and I noticed that like our social aspects of kids when we were younger, like go outside and play, like
way different.
Like I'm not telling my kid to go outside and play.
You can't do that anymore.
No, you can't. Like I can't be like go outside and play. And like I
you don't know where they're gonna go.
No, and like. I don't know the fucks around here either. Yeah, like social media is like crazy, dude. Like that really like pushed us into like a whole realm of like a different aspect of things.
Well, I don't know, dude. It's kind of weird because it's not just that people think it's more dangerous. Like it is actually more dangerous outside now. It is definitely more dangerous outside than it was in the 90s. Like when I was riding my bike around, like, you know, with my group of friends or whatever, going to McDonald's like a mile and a half away, or
now stranger danger is like they'll just grab you and fucking throw you in a van. They're not going to even tell you about it. They're not going to be like, hey little kid. They're going to be like, fuck you kid, and just get you in the van real quick.
I mean, I would ride my bike like, you know, 3 miles to my friend's house, you know, like no problem. But it's like nowadays I feel like you'd pass like 4 or 5 homeless dudes on the way. You don't know which one of them's on drugs at the current moment. It's like
I did have a scary experience as a kid. I had a white van follow me, like, and they tried talking to us as a kid, and then we like ditched our bikes. Like, we didn't get taken or like, you know, but like as a kid back then, you're just like, stay the fuck away from them, and we stayed the fuck away from them. Like, we went into the fucking middle of the woods and just kind of hid out. Yeah. And then after like an hour of this, like, because we can see them because from where the street is, there's an incline, and then we can hide behind the incline, and you can't see into the forest because it's dense, but we can see out. So we just sat there, and this dude just kept driving around, and finally after like a couple hours, he like took off. We were like, "Cool, I'm going back home." And then you never tell your parents.
Yeah,
you're a fucking kid, and they're like, "You're not gonna go out for a while," and you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, they'll punish you.
Yeah, they'll punish you because like,
something crazy happened.
Yeah, because crazy something happened to you. And you'd be like, just for their own sanity, like, we're just gonna ground you. Like, fuck you, kid. Like, just stay inside.
Can you just play video games?
Yeah,
like,
just can't even.
They like change their tone.
Yeah, you're like, just stay inside and play video games for a little bit.
Now it's like that all the time. Yeah, parents are constantly doing that now.
And you know what? I have a lot of, you know what's cool about also this though? Like the amount of like friends that you can make with being inside. Because some kids are like, nowadays, like we identify a lot of social aspects of kids having issues instead of when we were younger. So when I was younger, I had like ADHD and shit, and no one knew I was wild. Like they couldn't fucking figure it out.
Did it go away?
I've learned to control it over the years. A lot of weed.
Control it?
Yeah, like
controlled it.
Control.
Wrestle it in.
I wrestled it in there. Like, yeah, sometimes I get thoughts where like my brain's all over the place, but like honestly, weed helps a lot because when I smoke, like it just puts me in like a straight level instead of just being.
Dude, I feel the exact same way. It's like I know exactly what you're talking about.
But I don't want to be on Ritalin either because it turns me into a fucking zombie. Like the side of like the stuff that comes along with Ritalin, from what I remember as a kid, I hated it, man. I had no emotional personality. I would just sit there and do work.
Was it just Ritalin, or was it like something?
It was just anything. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, I've tried meth, and it did the same thing Ritalin did to me. And
Really?
I didn't like it. I did not like feeling like that. I wasn't
Weird.
Yeah, they were, well, because it's the same thing that they like.
Yeah.
Most of the, like, if you keep doing meth, yeah, you're gonna have the same effects that meth are gonna
It's
give
the
you.
same,
Yeah,
same
but
chemical. But
exactly. But like, I just didn't like it. Like, I'm glad I never got addicted to meth because I had this symptom. Because like,
so like Adderall would do the same thing. Then.
yeah, and I don't like taking Adderall. I don't like those drugs, man. I honestly don't like taking any pills. Like,
I've never really had anything like that. Honestly, the only time I've had like an amphetamine is probably when I took a ecstasy pill.
Never
I've
done
done it
ecstasy.
like a couple times, but I'm pretty sure it's like Molly cut or like MDMA cut with amphetamine, and it wasn't like enough to fucking. I wasn't like tweaked out or anything, you know. It was the MDMA mostly. The amphetamine is just to give you like a little pickup, like, on top of it, you know, to wake you up. But honestly, like I didn't feel like it was like, you know, maybe the MDMA was like overpowering the zombie part.
It could have been, but I mean, everybody, like, not all people have the same reaction to it. Some people,
that's true.
You know, everybody's different. Just from my experience that I had, I just didn't like it, and then I was like 16 when I tried meth, and I didn't like it then, and I never tried it again. And then ever since then, like, the only drugs that I'll actually like do now are like weed, maybe acid, and then mushrooms. Just like I feel like those are the baselines where you're like,
The trifecta.
The trifecta, because like
Hallucinogens.
you can't keep doing acid, man. It's gonna, you can't do it every fucking day.
Yeah.
Just like mushrooms, you can't do it every fucking day. I mean, you can
Probably
microdose.
could.
You probably can microdose, but like to get like,
Acid's a little different. Story.
yeah, that's true. Okay, I take that back. So
But
mushrooms, you can microdose
could.
every day, but like acid every day, you can't do that every day. It's just, not gonna have the same effect. Give it a couple days.
Yeah.
And like that's what I use it for. Like periodically, like I have depression, I'll do mushrooms, and then like kind of resets myself. Really puts
I'm like way far past due for one of those. I need a mushroom therapy session. Dude.
If you need them, I know where to get them. But I'm just saying
wow.
they're good. They're good. Like there is a lot of beneficial. Like everybody's different. So don't just go out there and fucking try mushrooms if you like. You're not aware of what you're doing. But like if you've ever been curious, do a little bit of research and then go in with a good mindset. Like I know ketamine therapy is a big thing now.
Pretty much anyone who's done it before and is not trying to fuck with you will tell you 1 gram.
Yeah.
Try a gram.
Try a gram.
One easy to remember.
See how you feel. Go from there.
It's gonna be like $10.
Yeah, and you'll have a good time, especially if you go with like, because doing mushrooms to me, like I've done like 4 grams at one time before, and it's just like being really.
That's like my favorite amount.
Yeah, or super stoned with some wall breathing. Like I never hallucinated. People who are like, I see Mario. You're a fucking liar, dude.
Dude, we have like the same of drug effects.
Yeah.
Like, how is this possible? Like
I think
I do the same thing on mushrooms. I'm like,
you know what I think it is? Does it take more of certain things to fuck you up sometimes? Like do you have to take more of an amount to get you farther than someone else?
not with acid.
Not with acid.
Not with acid.
For me, it does. It's weird because
For mushrooms, I feel like I take more than most people. Like I eat more than most people when it comes to mushrooms, but that's my favorite. Like I love that trip. Like the feeling of just like loopy as fuck and like out of your mind. Like I love that shit, dude. Yeah, like the dumb, like I'm an idiot. Like that mushroom head feeling. Like I love it. But
because it gives you a carefree attitude. Like you're not gonna go rob a bank, but you're gonna enjoy a flower more than you usually would.
It's just 100% emotions right in the moment. Like.
And that's what it's good for, is because it's getting those emotions out that you subconsciously probably block out, like realistically as being
all the thoughts you block out.
Yeah, and you're like you should really just deal with this right now. And
Yeah.
it gives you a healthy like perspective to deal with it, because it shows you like, hey, there's a bigger perspective.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes it's not fun.
No.
Sometimes it's really not fun, but like you just have to embrace it anyways. Like it sucks dick sometimes when bad thoughts come up and you're like, fuck, dude, just go in your room. Just sit on your bed and like stare at the floor and just think about it. Like it's gonna suck.
Yeah, you'll work it out.
But you'll figure something out. You'll learn.
And it's super benefit. Like ketamine therapy now is a big thing too. Like just
I've been curious about that.
I have a buddy who she was in the military and then saw a bunch of crazy shit in the military and now is trying ketamine therapy, and she says it works. So good on her.
I've heard it's good for veterans.
Yeah, and I'm really like, because we fuck over our veterans. I don't care who you are. Like,
there's not a lot afterwards.
No,
there's not a lot to help you afterwards.
No, it's just like, hey, I saw all this crazy shit, and it's just like, your therapist is gonna just throw pills at you and not really talk to you about it.
We can set up an appointment with the VA, like if you want, and then you're like, I know how that goes.
I'm gonna be there for fucking 6 hours, and you're gonna throw a bunch of fucking pills at me, and nothing's gonna get done.
Pretty much.
I'm not in the military, but I've seen my friends suffer through it, and it's fucking bullshit. Like the way that we just, later, get the fuck out of here, and then just like
it's a conveyor belt. It's like a grinder. The VA.
Yeah, it's just like next.
Yeah.
Next. They don't give a fuck about you, unfortunately, and like, it's just sad, man. Like I just see a lot of my friends like suffer with like shit after they've been to like Afghanistan and like Iraq, and then they just get treated like dog shit.
They should never have been doing in the first place.
No, they shouldn't have. Just like,
what do we want?
Crazy. We want money. We want to show that we're strong, and then
we need to keep producing weapons that we sell to the government.
Dude, just stop. like
we need to start a war so we can make more weapons for the government.
Yeah, and here we go.
Stockpiles are getting a little full. Like we need to empty those stockpiles out. I know we could sell it to Ukraine.
Military, and then you have the people get out of the military, and they're like, no, not the military, because we're suffering now. We'll come back with fucking. That whole propaganda is like dead because like people can voice their opinions now. It's cool. I like that people like. The reason that I think our society is dangerous and blessed at the same time is like we get to see more than we ever have before. You know, like there's always been bad in the world, but now we get to see it firsthand because everybody has a phone and a camera.
Oh yeah, man.
Everybody has a camera. Like all the shit, like that motherfucker right there is not real. I guarantee, like not that scenario, but like weird scenarios like that have happened on the plane. But now we get to see them because there's cameras on phones. When back in the day, there was probably just people freaking out and like, did you hear about this story? And you're like, so what? There's no fucking proof about it. Now there's proof about it. Everybody's like, conspiracy time.
This Ukraine war is like the first war where like a first world country is on the receiving end of something fucked up.
Yeah.
So like they all have cell phones that they can easily just take a high quality video of this shit going on. Like every other conflict since cell phones has been like in third world countries in like the fucking middle of nowhere.
And
like,
no
one's got a cell phone, or if they do, it's the Americans who are not allowed to take videos.
Nope. And then like now it's just like, nope, we have it. Here you go.
Yeah. Now the Ukrainians are just like, look
at the atrocities that are being committed here. Like, look at the shit that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, and
it's unreal, man. Those videos have actually been out for a while, man. There's been conflict in Ukraine for a lot longer than people think.
Oh no, and they have been around for a long. But now it's just like now the videos are starting to surface, and it's like pushing like.
Well, they just recently decided to politicize it and get involved. Like,
can you pause it? I have to pee.
Yes, we can pause. All right, and we're back, and this is going to be the second time we're going to smoke a joint on this podcast.
If you ever meet a Sasquatch in the woods, you usually get high with them and you get lost, and that's how people really die. People think Sasquatches are murderers, but no, you really just get high in the woods with them. You get so high you forget where you're at, and you just get lost, and that's it. That's what happens.
I'm going to need some proof on that one, because they could easily just tear you in half, and it'd be the same outcome.
We're not mean. When the Sasquatch family is not mean.
We aren't mean.
We are mean. I mean, Uncle Jeff's kind of dickhead. He has
Jeff, dude. It's always Jeff.
It's always Uncle Jeff. He likes to steal. Like Yogi Bear is based off my Uncle Jeff. Like they thought he was a bear, but it's really just a Sasquatch. He can go over and steal picnic baskets and shit. Hey there, Boo Boo. And Boo Boo is just my cousin Timmy. Like that's not that's not anything surprising. No, but my daughter comes to me and she's like, my friends told me that Sasquatch murder people. And I was like, that's a fucking lie. Tell them they're Sasquatch racist. How dare they?
No, they're all friendly. They just don't like you.
It's Yetis. It's the Yetis that you got to watch out for. They're questionable.
They live in the cold.
Yeah, they're always mad.
Hardcore motherfuckers. Like, they're just
deal with polar bears.
There's not a lot of food out there.
No, there's not. That's
why always hungry.
That's why people go missing in the snowy mountains, because Yetis do eat people.
There's a lot of people to eat.
Yeah, go to Aspen. Eat those folks. They deserve it.
Well, where does the Yeti originate from? Is it North America, or is it like fucking Europe?
I honestly think it's like
Sweden or some shit.
Like Sweden, like the Swiss Alps or some shit like there. I honestly think that like
the Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn, yeah. I would honestly think that like a Yeti is like more derived of like a European, more European or like Nordic like area. That area, like that part of the world where like a Sasquatch would be more like Montana and shit like that. Like those are the two like biggest
North America.
Yeah, like biggest distinctions. Like you're not gonna have. I don't think you're gonna see a fucking Sasquatch in the jungle. You know, you'll see like. I don't know what they have out there. I don't know what their cryptid animal is. Speaking of that, what's your favorite cryptid? I needed to know now. That's a good one.
Not even like really confident on what that word means.
Like so mythological creature like Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Mothman.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the problem. I just count all that stuff in the same category.
Yeah.
Like it's all I don't entertain it as much as most people do.
I fucking love it. That's the one thing I wish was real. I wish like, there was like spooky monsters.
The thing is like if there were really spooky monsters that are walking around somewhere, like we would have evidence.
Oh, of course,
them,
of course, we would
by now. So it's like it's hard to entertain it as realistic, which is why I'm like, I don't know. It seems kind of cheesy to me almost in a way. But
the only conspiracy theories like of like lost or like mythical things that I think is real is like maybe Atlantis and then like the lost cities in the jungle because the jungle just grows over those cities.
Yeah,
like,
I think Atlantis is some really muddy water, but I think it actually existed because there's multiple legends of it.
There is, and
there's multiple accounts of it in writing. So it's like, why wouldn't it have existed? We already know. Well, we should know that, civilization is way older than 5,000 years old.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
So, let's go back 10,000 years and let's say a great flood happened, right? Okay, were there people before that? Probably. Atlantis probably existed before that time because anything that's organic is fucked from before 10,000 years ago because of that flood.
Yeah.
Right? If that flood actually happened, a comet striking the North Pole and fucking flooding the every landmass pretty much with a mile-high wave. Anything organic, gone. The only thing left, giant rocks.
Yeah.
So pyramids, the Sphinx, shit like that.
And then once the water settles, you have all those, microorganisms that can start evolving and, progressing again and then coming, slowly just building back up to where we were periodically because I'm a big believer in evolution.
Well, I think even the myth of the Ark, I even think that's real. There were people that survived that fucking flood somehow by a miracle. Maybe 1,000 people were left.
Yeah,
on the Earth.
Just not just one dude named Noah. It was probably
maybe
a group of
Noah
people.
was the guy who was the farmer.
Yeah,
and he's like, this is how we need to survive. And he's like, we need to farm. We need to make our food, and he was Noah, or whatever.
We interview Noah. He's like, no one told me about it. He's like, I used science, and then he's like, I was just on it. He's like, I just had a feeling it was coming. He's like,
I had a boat.
I had a boat. I had a boat. That was it.
I had 4 pigs and a couple sheep.
We made this work. We made this
I
work.
didn't have all these animals. What the fuck?
It's impossible. That's.
He's like, that's my legacy. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Holy fuck,
that's
man.
fucking cool. I'll give the Bible this. Some of the saints in there are fucking cool. Some of them are fucking weird. Well,
there's some really cool stories in the Bible.
Oh yeah, the Bible's fucking filled with fun tales.
Modern Christians give it a bad reputation, but it's kind of a cool book.
It's wild, dude. It's fucking wild.
If you take it as just a book, if you would learn a lesson from any fiction book, you could learn it from the Bible. You can learn lessons from the Bible.
Just be good.
Don't
be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. That's the gist of it,
yeah.
right? But if you get into the actual stories and stuff, it gets pretty crazy. But the Old Testament specifically,
the Old Testament's fucking.
The Old Testament gets nuts, dude. If that shit actually happened, that would be terrifying.
It's just everything in this book happened. You're like, what? You're like, okay. And they're like, and then the rapture. If the rapture ever happened, I would just be in total awe. I would just be like, oh, the trumpets are real. Sweet, man. Let's fucking party down. And then everybody goes off to heaven. And then I'm just like chilling here. Like Stan Smith from American Dad. No arm, shotgun arm, hook arm, you know.
Chainsaw arm.
Give me the old Ashley Williams, please. I just want a boomstick and a chainsaw. Man, I want weird shit to be real, but it's just not, and I know it's not, and I hate it.
Well, there is real weird shit.
Well, I'm talking about like Sasquatches.
There's
and, like,
more fake shit than real shit, though. That's the thing. Like,
okay, give me your top 5 conspiracies that you think are real.
well, UFOs, dude.
Well, UFOs. Okay, we're in agreement on that one. Well, definitely USOs. I'm with you 100% on that one. I'm talking like that shit's definitely real.
Egyptology is wrong.
That the
I
pyramids
think the pyramids are way older than 5,000 years old.
I completely agree with you, 100%.
Sphinx included. There are certain monuments in Egypt that are way older than 5,000 years old, and they know it. There's a concerted effort to keep people thinking that it's 5,000 years old. Otherwise, they would have to completely rewrite everything and completely redo all their museums, and their entire tourist industry would turn upside down.
Yeah, because those pyramids weren't like those pyramids were used for something else. It wasn't used for like we're honoring our dead man. No, this is something weird with those pyramids. They don't use them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't want to say that they don't know or that they were wrong.
Yeah, just say you're wrong. It's fine. Like, hey,
they were saying the same thing for 35 years.
We're never wrong. It's a tomb. It's a tomb.
Their entire archaeological career was based on the fact that the pyramids are 5,000 years old.
Yeah, but then there's studies coming out like these
it's
walls.
A tomb. It's like, okay, where was there's no record of a mummy ever being in any of those pyramids.
They're all like off source to like, they're buried or not like close to them, but they're buried
tombs.
in that. But yeah, they're buried in that vicinity.
There's some pretty crazy architecture there. That's not the pyramids, but the pyramids are different.
They're not
different, dude. There's some stuff there that's just way different than like the stuff that's 5,000 years old.
They say that like those places like conducted electricity inside them, and the way that they were built is like there was something like just weird with them. And I know.
Yeah, I heard somebody talk about it as if it was like some sort of generator. Like they let the tide in, and it raises to a certain point in the pyramid, and then, like the way it changes the frequency inside of the pyramid. Because I guess when you're in there, there's like a really low frequency that you can almost hear. It's like a hum at like, fucking 23 hertz or something, like some weird shit. But it's like if you put water in there, it would change, right?
Yeah.
So is that frequency important? Like, would the frequency get higher and you'd be able to do things with it?
I feel like so, especially back then. Like they had we have sound to work with. We don't have that much computers and technology, but we do have this. And I feel like we're going to figure out different ways to use things, and today that we still just can't even figure out. Like we don't. There's no understanding of how it really works, and like. Because they had different methodologies of just figuring these things out that we don't have those. We're not put in that same time frame. I feel like, or like in that way when they discovered these. I feel like there's just things that like have been discovered, just will never be discovered again. They'll never understand how they work again. Our generation is what I'm saying. Like maybe like the next generation after us.
That's hard to say. Like as old men, we might see some crazy shit, dude.
I hope,
old man in a fucking wheelchair, and you're just like. Shit, we figured it out.
I hope I'm wrong. And
we figured out how the Egyptians did it.
I would call you that day. Like, I was wrong. I was fucking wrong.
Look, dude, they're levitating a granite block right now. Look at the news.
Because I'm one person, I'll admit when I'm wrong. And that would be the one wrong where I'm like, oh, you were fucking right. It did happen in our lifetime. You were fucking right. And then I would probably have a heart attack because it's just so mind-blowing.
I'll just have you back on the show.
Yeah.
It'll be like episode 9,000.
9,262. Here we are. 80 years later.
Would that take 80 years? No. I wonder what 80 years would be. It's been 2 years about at like 30, and this is episode 38, I think. So this will be episode 38. So that's like, what, 40 episodes in 2 years? So it's like 20 episodes a year?
Yeah.
So for 80 more years, it would be like 160 episodes. I'm doing this math all wrong.
I can't do math, and I'm Jewish.
1,600?
1,600 episodes in 80 years.
Yeah, because I've been doing it pretty slow.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been about like once a week, roughly.
but if this, imagine this becomes your full-time job when you're pumping out episodes.
Yeah, I'd like to do it twice a week. That would be my ultimate goal. Do
It's
it on
hard.
Wednesday and Sunday. That'd be a cool 2 days to record. That would be a good schedule.
Yeah, and get 2 people in, and then just have like.
I tried to schedule on a Wednesday once, just didn't work out.
Yeah, you live about 30.
No, that was when we recorded. The first day we the first time we tried to do this, it was on a Wednesday.
Oh, was it on a Wednesday?
Yeah, it was on a Wednesday. You came over on a Wednesday.
Holy shit.
I remember it was the first time I was like, okay, I'm going to record on a Sunday and a Wednesday and a Sunday, and I'm going to see how it works out for me and like the schedule, you know, because I was like working and stuff. And you came over on a Wednesday and it worked out, you know, but then like all the files are fucked up. I was like, oh my God, son of a bitch. And then like on Saturday, the next podcast dropped out. Like he bailed on me. I was like, motherfucker, dude. Like didn't work at all. Like
yeah, the only time I ever really bail out of stuff is like if my like kid's sick or I got like some weird family shit that just came up and I'm like, I got this weird thing. Hell yeah. That was a good joint.
Yeah, man.
The
I like it.
Bolonka corn or what the fuck it called?
Yeah, it was called like Balluna corn.
Balluna corn. It was fucking weird strand. It didn't taste anything like corn, so
yeah,
that's a bonus. Imagine smoking weed that tastes like a fucking corn on the cob.
I kind of like corn.
I do.
It's got
like
a little
corn.
sweetness to it.
There's a like
savory.
I like corn flavored things too. Just weed. I don't know if I would just like. It tastes like popcorn.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Dude, me and my dad, we made this moonshine one time, and we used mostly corn and like some barley. I think it was like a 2/3 corn, 1/3 barley kind of mix. And dude, it tasted like just straight up corn, like liquid corn. Like it was like warmed up in a microwave, but it was just a mason jar.
What was the proof? Do you remember?
I think we came out at like 130.
Oh, that's good
around
shit.
130.
That's good
it was
shit.
like 140 to 120, like throughout the run, because we were like distilling a couple gallons. But we went throughout the run, like we kept testing each jar, you know, and like it went from 140 to like 120, the drinkable stuff.
Fuck, I swear if my parents ever lived in North Carolina and I could just go back in the woods and be a moonshiner, because you can make so much fucking money. Also super illegal, but like.
Yeah, don't sell it, dude.
Yeah, don't sell it.
Don't sell it.
Yeah, but
at least don't talk about selling it.
No, don't talk about selling it, but like they did that whole show on, I don't know what channel it was. It was probably half of it was fake.
How dumb. Dude, all of it was fake. You can't do it. It's illegal.
No, but
it's like federally illegal.
But the process
do that.
is real. The process of them making it is real.
Yeah,
so
sure, but the whole show is about them trying to sell it.
No,
It's
yeah.
like, what the fuck, dude?
I just like the process of them making it.
They had like cops show up and stuff. Like the police officer was like a reoccurring character.
It's the only reality show that I can watch, because like the towing ones are just too obscene. They're way. There's a gator in my fucking car. What the fuck? Like, why is there a gator in this dude's car? You're not even fucking anywhere near gators, so why is there a gator in this dude's car?
Yeah, just strange.
Hey, dude, you know, the reality shows are fucking wild now. They had Cougar Mansion.
I don't watch any reality shows.
I don't either. I just watch YouTube about reality shows, and then I'm just like, this shit exists? Like, cable TV is wacky.
Yeah. The only time I see reality shows is if I go over to my mom's house. She's always watching some like fucking.
What's your mom's favorite?
I don't know. They used to watch Survivor and Amazing Race, which were two really cool ones actually. But
Those are like ones that you can actually like justify watching. You can't justify watching like Cougar Manor.
Well, it
or,
devolved into like a lot of the court shows. And the court shows are like,
those are fucking great. Half of those are fake too.
Yeah, most of them are fake.
Yeah, they're just like paid comedians and shit.
Yeah, I'm sure they became more and more fake. Like,
oh yeah,
it's like we could just write these and it's way easier. They started out like real, you know, like Judge Judy. Those ones were real ones.
Really,
but it wasn't like a real court. The thing is, like, what they do is they have like a contract where they sign over their like right to a fair trial. You literally sign your right to a fair trial away. And you say, like, Judge Judy can decide the outcome of this case now. You, like, sign her the judicial right to decide what happens. God. But the thing is, like, whoever loses, they just don't have to pay anything. You know, whoever wins gets, like, they win the case or whatever. but like whoever loses, like they don't lose anything.
They actually don't like actually. They just no like physical loss to anything.
Yeah, exactly. So if they go on the case, they're just like, okay, well, what's the
just
worst
get
that could
embarrassed
happen?
on TV.
Nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have to pay anything, because it's always a counter lawsuit.
Yeah.
They're always suing each other for some stupid fucking bullshit.
They damaged my car. Well, how did they damage the car? Well, I took the car, and then they were in the car, and then they crashed a tree into the car. It's their fault.
Yeah, and like 90% of the time, it's super obvious, and it's just Judge Judy humiliating the person who's wrong.
That's what it is. It's 15 minutes of fame, and they're like, "You want to go on show and be humiliated?" And they're like, "Fuck yeah, I do."
They're like, oh, I won't have to pay anything for this case.
Nope.
They're like, yeah, we'll pay it for you. All right, I'll do it.
I mean,
And then the person who's like knows they're like they fucked up their car or whatever, they're just like, fuck yeah, I'll make some money.
well, yeah, because don't they usually they pay them for being on there, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're
Well, the winner.
And the other guy
The
just
winner
doesn't have
gets
to pay
their money.
I mean,
Because it's always a cash settlement. It's always like $3,700 to the plaintiff.
but it's a kind of a win-win for both parties because homie doesn't have to pay shit, and then like,
That's what I mean. It's a win-win. They convince them to go on. Like it's an obvious case. Like the person who's winning is like, yeah, I'm doing it for money. The person who's losing is like, I'm doing it because I don't have to pay
shit.
I don't have to pay him shit.
No, fuck this. You guys are paying this for me?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Judge
I'll
Judy
go
just.
on. I'll defend my case.
I won't do a good job of it either. I'd be like, nope, I did it.
They try, like,
Yeah.
but they're usually fucking dirt bags.
No.
Like they suck at it anyways.
Fucking Cletus over there.
They can't lie for shit. Like
It was Tuesday, and you're like, oh my god, you're just like, and then Judge Judy looks at them like they're fucking idiots, and you're like, you know what? They win. Fuck you.
yeah, she's always like, fuck you. Like she might as well.
It's Judge Judy, man. She's the bee's knees. She was. Is she still on the air?
No, she retired.
Yeah.
But she went for a long fucking time, man. She has a lot of episodes.
Well, yeah, dude. I
How
remember
many
being home.
episodes does Judge Judy have?
I
I wonder, dude. I want to look it up.
Go for it. That's what Google's good for, and that's what we get.
How many episodes?
Back in the 90s or 80s, 90s or like early 2000s, you have to call a number and they would tell you things. Hey, what's this mean?
Oh my god, dude.
How many episodes?
Yes.
I'm gonna say a one piece amount of so about 1,000 episodes, about 1,067. She beaten One Piece. 2,000.
Dude,
Let me hear it.
7,164.
Holy shit!
That's how many episodes of Judge Judy there are.
Holy shit! Oh, it was way off. Oh my god.
She's been on for a long
Judge
time.
Judy
man.
is the fucking real anime winner here. She's the fucking. She found
They
the
don't
One
have to
Piece.
write it. That's the cool part.
No, and it just had to go. They probably make a lot of
That's
money.
what I'm
off
saying.
that.
Like they're probably the only ones that didn't write a bunch of shit.
They probably make like so much money off that. Like these old people that are home.
She's a
during the
wealthy
day
lady.
and
I'm
then
sure she's a wealthy lady.
it's old people who stay home. Mothers. This is what
It's
I'm.
white ladies.
Yeah, old white ladies or sick kids. Sick kids will watch.
Sick kids, yeah, maybe.
I mean, a kid. I'd be like laying there like with a fever and being. She's like, you're guilty.
It's moms. Like 98% of their audience is moms.
Yeah, true. They want drama in their life.
Like,
They need a little
guys,
bit of drama.
Dude, dads are watching Modern Marvels. Like
Yeah.
the History Channel, like
World War II. This is the
World
World
War
War II documentary I've seen 4 times.
How did Hitler die?
How did Hitler die? Oh, in a bunker covered in petrol.
I saw
With bullet wound.
I saw a Facebook video today. It was pretty funny. It was girlfriends going up to their boyfriend saying, "Do you think about the Roman Empire?"
Oh my god! And they're like, at least once or twice a week. Like,
And like, yeah, probably, yeah, I do. Why? Like, and I thought about it. I was like, last week I probably thought about the Roman Empire at one point. Like,
yeah,
I probably saw something and I was like, man, the Roman Empire was fucking huge.
Yeah, the Roman Empire ruled it, and
They literally took over that whole side of the world. Like, how did they do that? It's like, what the fuck?
Because we like history.
It's interesting, dude. History like we got here for a reason. you
Yeah.
know? We're in this fucking state because some things happened. That's one of the biggest fucking things that's ever happened is the Roman Empire.
Yeah, they pioneered a lot of shit. Like without the Roman Empire, there wouldn't be a lot of
Roads. They made roads that are still used today. There's a few bridges that people still use.
Didn't they do plumbing too?
Yeah,
some sort
they're
of
the first one to have
aqueduct,
aqueducts and
aqueduct
plumbing
system.
and stuff.
Without them, you ever play Civilizations? Yeah, the Roman Empire. There's a whole area for it.
Yeah,
just like sophisticated for like culture also too. They did a lot of shit like that.
Yeah. Now it's
Were
just
they
like
the
a little boot-shaped country.
Were they the ones with the orgies too? Man orgies?
I mean, that's in every civilization, dude. I mean, humans are humans. They have orgies in every culture you could imagine.
It's so weird now, like masculinity is like a different ideal than what it was back in the day. Like masculinity back in the day was drinking wine with your buddies and getting fucking them before you went into battle. Like that was real man stuff.
Oh yeah.
No women allowed. You guys stay out there. We're fucking in here. You just stay out there. And they get ready, gonna go into battle the next day. Romantic.
Pretty much. Stumble home drunk. Maybe you get laid before you go into battle.
Yeah, what happened?
Wake up.
What happened to real masculinity? Orgy with best friends. Dude.
Orgy with best friends.
Dude orgies. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, that was like Greece.
Yeah, Greece. Okay, yeah, there you go, Greece.
That was Greece.
Then,
yeah. All the gay orgies.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to...
That was like the Spartans and the Athenians, you know.
They were just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Give a fuck, dude.
They
didn't give a shit.
They did not give a... They really didn't give a... I'm going to fight lion.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking be...
They were hardcore, man.
Yeah.
They would fuck in the ass and then chop your head off, you know.
They would do butt stuff and then go into battle the next day.
They didn't care.
No.
They're like, you can use me, bro.
You can lean on me, friend.
It's okay, dude. Use me.
More wine.
We're gonna need more wine.
We're gonna need more wine. Oh my god. What you guys talk about today? Conspiracy theories and orgies. Yeah. Greece. Orgy. Greece. Sexy Greece time. They're sexy Greases.
Like ancient Greece. That's
ancient Greece. Let me ask you this question because I like to ask my wife this question a lot, just because she has the same reaction and she always looks at me like I'm disturbed. If you crash land with 5 people, one of them dies, you're not leaving for fucking when you don't know where you're leaving. You've been there for a couple weeks, you haven't eaten anything. Would you eat them to survive?
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife's like, fuck no, I would never do it. I'd be like,
you're gonna die?
Yeah, you're gonna die. I was like, I'm gonna eat Henry over here.
Well, the thing is, like, starving is the worst thing imaginable.
Yeah, it's fucking
miserable. You're
gonna
try.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're an animal, dude. You're gonna try to eat.
Because
you're not gonna starve to death.
Because I think a lot of people, like most people, have like that. When there's no flight left, it's fight, and then when it's fight, I think you're gonna fucking eat a human.
If you know how to cook meat, you're gonna do it.
I know how to cook meat.
If you have the means to, you're going to try.
Yeah.
You're not gonna eat it raw. You're not gonna like just fucking start biting into a dead body, like. But if you have like, you know, a little gas stove and a knife, you wouldn't starve. You would try to survive. Like, I don't care. Like, maybe now you would say, no, I would never. But I don't know, man. If you're in that situation.
Like, there's one more scenario I was thinking of. But yeah, I think a lot of people would. I don't think you would just suffer to die. And if
I said, though, if it was just like 4 frozen bodies next to you and you're like, that's hard to eat that without any supplies.
No, they just like they just died a couple hours ago. Like their body's still fresh, and then like,
that's the dude. You would survive.
They were like, "Eat me before," and they died. I'm like, "He gave us his blessing. Eat me." Because I would give people my blessing to eat me if I was gonna die. Like if I knew it was just like, listen, this is a life or death situation. Shut up, Brenda. Just fucking eat me. Like, you know, I want you to live. If you're gonna get off here, tell my story about how rad I was.
Yeah.
And how good I tasted.
You just have a tattoo. It says, you can eat me.
Yeah, it's just like.
You can eat me if you're starving.
Hungry. You know, hungry? It's just a question mark out there.
Go for it.
Go for it. Oh, good, dude. I fucking love. Human fucking body's weird, man. Because, like, there's a certain point of your body where it's just like your brain's just going to set off and you are going to go back to animalistic fucking basic instincts and you're just going to fight to survive.
I can't. I would never want to do that. That sounds like it's horrible.
No, I don't want to live with the guilt of eating somebody. Jesus Christ. I feel like you'd regain their memory somehow. You're like, I can feel his body inside mine. Like,
yeah. I feel like I've never actually really been hungry.
No, yeah. I think until you eat a human, unless you're like crazy, like I don't think you've ever been hungry.
You got to go like 3 or 4 days without food before you've really been hungry.
Yeah, you'll
I don't think I've ever gone like 3 or 4 whole days. I don't think I've gone 3 days without food.
Oh, you'd feel it. Your body would start to eat itself at that point.
Yeah, I feel like I would remember that.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Like, there's people who've gone through like military training, I'm sure, where you'd fucking do that just to see what it feels like.
Oh yeah,
as part of your training. But like, I don't think I've ever been there.
No, I've never been that hungry before.
In boot camp, I gained like 15 pounds.
What were they fucking feeding you?
Dude, you just go to like this fucking line. You go down a line and you get food. Like they serve everybody the same thing for that day. And the menu is just repeats every week. It's the same thing on Monday as it is going to be the next Monday. You know, they just have 5 meals. And because you're only there 8 weeks. So you just do that rotation 8 times and you're done.
What was your favorite thing that you ate there?
Cereal. It was there every day. I ate cereal for like at least 2 out of the 3 meals every day.
So there wasn't like a particular meal you were looking forward to every week?
I don't remember.
You're like, I
remember,
choose
dude.
to
It was like
forget.
cafeteria food, man. It was like I wasn't like, oh yeah, it's fucking chicken parmesan night. Like, no, dude, I was pissed off and like I had a cold the whole time. I was just angry. I was one of the section leaders. I was in charge of like 12 dudes who didn't know shit. It's just like, oh my god, dude, I'm fucking like
they hate their life, so they do something dumb.
I was like the only guy who was in Boy Scouts who went through Boy Scouts for 12 years. So like I kind of knew like what the military was supposed to be like, you know. I was a patrol leader for like these kids, you know, and it's like it felt the same fucking way, except now they're adults and they don't want to listen to a person. It's
they got this weird it's like, you know what you signed up for. You're gonna get like, fucking yelled at and you have to listen, dude. Like you signed your life away for
guys. Like you understand, like I'm the section leader, right?
I'm gonna make you do this.
Please just do this how I'm telling you to do it. Like that's how I would go about it, you know, and like just do it. Like he is going to notice. You don't want him to notice. Like
I'm giving you the warning. I'm the nice one.
We're all gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
Come on.
Why you gotta be the asshole too? It's just like, listen, dude, just get your shit done and get it out of the fucking way, so we're not all struggling. Like,
yeah, boot camp was kind of a silly joke, but I just ate cereal most of the time. They had Nature Valley granola bars that were just crushed up in one of those cereal jars that you just spin, and I ate that for like breakfast and lunch every single day. Like I just had a huge bowl, like all the way heaping bowl, and I would just pour milk until it like got to the top, and like that was my meal. And then I would just have like sides like fruit or some shit, like whatever fruit they had and stuff. But I just wanted carbs, like give me the granola, like
and that is probably the best, healthiest thing you're gonna eat there anyway.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay. I didn't want to be hungry, you know, because it's like that would just be one more thing.
And especially if you're like being active and shit, and then like you got drills around there, and like that's just gonna make you even angrier.
Yep, it was the one time a day I got to sit on my ass and just eat food and like not do anything. I could just stare at the fucking tray because you weren't allowed to talk during meals. You couldn't talk to each other because they didn't want a whole bunch of chatter in the fucking cafeteria, you know? So you had to sit down and just fucking eat. And like there was times to talk to each other and stuff, but that wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was silent while you were eating. If you talked, like they would fucking tell you to put your tray up and go line up. You just wait by the wall and like standing there in shame, just waiting for everybody else to get done eating. So they could line up and like then you can go. Like,
don't fucking talk to me, I'm trying to eat.
Yeah, just like shut the fuck up. People would like stop fucking talking.
I'm hungry, bitch.
Sometimes I would just be tired and like make a joke. You know, like, oh, this motherfucker. Like just like fucking joke with people. People would tell me to shut the fuck up. And like one time that happened and the guy who told me to shut up got in trouble.
They're like, get
like, hey, you talking? I heard you fucking saying something. You got something to say? He's like, no, petty officer. He's like, you know what? Just stand up. Go. It's like.
And your meal's pretty much done after that point.
I felt so bad, dude. I felt so bad.
And you just stopped eating at that point, right?
I didn't get in trouble. He didn't see me talk. I finished my meal, dude. Everybody had to eat. Like, it's like, fuck.
Should have just shut your mouth.
It wasn't like the beginning of the meal, you know. He like everybody was already eating. He had eaten food and stuff. But it was just like right before when we got, called up. Like they would always have the leader of the division like stand at the end of the table and go like fucking say some shit, division attention or some shit like that.
I don't think I'd make it through boot camp or any of that.
It's just
shit.
a game, dude. I feel like I was on a movie. It's just a really bad movie, a boring movie.
It doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, it was all theatrics.
What'd you do after you got out of boot camp?
Boot camp ended like directly after, like the day I got out
No,
of boot
no,
camp.
like not the day after, but like what did you do like after boot camp?
I signed in as a I signed into the Navy as a nuclear electrician because I got a really high score on the ASVAB. ASVAB seemed really easy. I don't know.
Yeah, you're just a smart dude.
I guess I just know enough to pass a multiple choice test.
I'm gonna go with you're smart, but well, you can go with
It's a multiple choice test, dude. Yeah. It just depends how much you can like memorize. I guess I don't know,
but if you memorize, that's you knowing the answer to that question.
I just know a lot of random shit. Like I said, I know a lot of stuff, or like a little bit about a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
but so after boot camp, I went to nuclear electrician school, which is in North Carolina or South Carolina. It's in near Charleston.
South Carolina is pretty nice.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. Yeah, that school sucked a dick, dude. You're constantly doing schoolwork, like in the schoolhouse, doing like fucking math and like electronics school.
So you couldn't even really enjoy South Carolina.
Oh no,
that sucks.
Oh no, you're working a lot, dude. Unless you get really good test scores every single time, then you have some free time. But your free time depended on your last test score.
Oh, it sucks.
It was miserable, dude. So you had to study and really understand this shit because it was not multiple choice tests. None of the tests were multiple choice. It was either you had to explain something.
Oh yeah.
You had to write out a fucking paragraph explaining something, or you had to do math and like show all the work. And if you missed a step, like they would count a point off. You know, it was like graded on all the steps you could write out.
Too. So hard,
dude. It was fucking crazy hardcore. Like
I bet.
I did okay, like the individual tests. So my hours were all right, and you know, it would be like if you fucking got bad score, you would be on like fucking 40 hours extra a week. You know, that was like the max. So you literally go to school for 40 hours and you have to spend an extra 40 hours that week studying after class. So you literally in the schoolhouse for 80 hours that week.
No.
Like they would just force you. You had to clock in with a badge. There was like a scanner at the door, like beep. And then, you know, there would be a guy with a metal detector to make sure you didn't have a phone on you because phones weren't allowed in the building at all.
Oh my! So you're spending 18 hours, 10 hours a day in this fucking building.
Yeah. If you got a bad test score or if you missed your mandatory hours. Like if you had like 25 mandatory hours, which I got a B, so I had 25 hours, let's say.
Yeah.
If I only got 24 in, if my alarm didn't go off one of those days and I missed, I took a nap a little bit too long, didn't get back into the schoolhouse, just what happened. And like, he's like, oh, shit, I'm like short on my hours. Like, fuck. And then like at the end of the week, I got called into the chief's office. And my chief was like, he was like, he looked like he was high all the time. His eyes were constantly like half closed and he always had like a smirk. Like he parted his hair in the middle like a dweeb. He was just like this young chief because everyone in every nuke chief is young because you get promoted super fast. But his hair was like, navy. Like you can only have it like to here before it has to fade. So he had it parted in the center. Most people would slick it back.
Yeah,
military, if you have longer hair, you slick it back and then you have the fade on the side.
Yeah.
But this guy parted it in the middle and had a fade on the side. Like it almost looked like a bowl cut.
Yeah, no, it's a bad haircut. It's not a good haircut in anybody.
Dude. But he's kind of funny. He was like super cynical and like, I don't know. He never like yelled, lost his temper or anything. But he was kind of scary. Like he's intimidating. He would like threaten the class with like extra hours and shit like that. Like you're like, I don't know if this guy's serious. Like he could easily just be like, yep, yeah, you're all on max hours.
And then you get in like max hours and you're like, oh, he wasn't kidding. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I walked into his office and he was just like, hey, Bro Hart. I was like, hey, I was like, good morning, chief. And he was just like, you know why you're here? It's like, yes, chief. Like, you know what's gonna happen? It's like, yes, chief. He's like, all right, you can go. It's just like,
what do you do?
Like max hours.
And how much is max hours?
40 hours. It's like 40 hours is brutal. Like it's hard. Like imagine being somewhere for 80 hours in a week. That's working 2 full-time jobs.
I don't want to.
You literally just go to sleep and then go to school through the class where you're learning new material. Then you get out of class, go to dinner, and go right back to school. Like, you don't have time to go back to your room even. You have to go right back to the classroom for another fucking 8 hours.
That sounds fucking miserable, man.
You get out at like fucking 9, 10 o'clock and you go home, like, go to sleep. Like,
I'm glad you're not doing that anymore. I'm glad you're, you know.
Oh, dude, I was so happy I failed.
Go outside and fucking look at a tree for 2 minutes instead of being constantly worried. I hate time. Time sucks.
Yeah, well, I failed out of it in like 6 months. Like, there was a test on everything we learned, and I didn't remember enough, and I didn't study hard enough. Everyone else was like studying really well, and I was like,
you need some time for yourself.
I was like overwhelmed.
Too. Yeah, if you get too overwhelmed, you need some time for yourself. We're only human. Like, a lot of pressure can fuck a person up real bad.
I'm not the best in a classroom setting anyways. So, I was just holding my own because I was good at like understanding the material, but a lot of it was memorization. So a lot of the first lessons and stuff, you know, a lot of the questions would be like, oh, define this. Tell me what this is about. And it's like, I haven't read that definition in 4 months.
Yeah, but I have no idea what the fuck this is.
Yeah, like I know what it is, but I don't know what you want me to say. Like, what do you want me to say about it? You know, like, tell me like how the electrons affect the current of like this fucking blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I know how all this works. Like, I forget the words that were in the book. You know what I mean? Like, every question was like that. I was like,
listen,
oh
bro, the electrons.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to just like, just let me talk to you. Like, can I talk to somebody? Like,
can we just have a conversation about this instead of me writing it down?
I can build you a generator. Like,
I can't write down, you know, why. I can tell you how it works, but I can't tell you in your simplifications why.
Yeah, I just don't remember the definitions and shit. And it was all about that.
Yeah, and they're
like,
all particular about that shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the math was tough.
Oh, yeah,
the formulas were pretty crazy.
I'd probably take one of those, look at those formulas and be like, I'm sick to my stomach right now. I think I'm going to vomit. I don't even know any of this
crazy complex circuit and just be like, find the voltage of this single wire in this circuit, and you have to do like 12 steps to get there. And it's like,
nope, I have no idea how the fuck this works. I'd be out of that class.
And then the next question's like, find the power of the other resistor. Like, like shit.
Well, actually, Ganondorf has the Triforce of Power, so
yeah, the test would be 10 questions, and it would take like 2 hours.
Fuck no.
Yeah, it would be like fucking shit like that. Like, oh man.
At least there's people out there that want to do that shit, so they don't have to like.
Yeah.
Because for folks like us, I'd fail that class miserably. How would it make it through the first day?
It was pretty funny because they sent me to aviation electrician school afterwards. And aviation electrician, like that school was like, it was like electronics, but it was like so dumbed down. It was like way dumbed down compared to what I was doing. Like fucking, in nuke school, we learned how to like count in binary. And like we learned literally like the 3-phase like generators and like the fucking strength of the magnetic currents and how fast it can move the, you know, it was like crazy specific stuff. And like aviation electrician school was like just basic, so basic, like, you know, just Ohm's law, you know, like here's a square circle, like just the square.
There's a
like,
positive and negative.
Like, you know, here's the formula. It's like 3 parts.
You're like, yeah. Did you do well in there?
I wasn't even in the classroom half the time.
Oh shit.
It was 2 Marines. That was most of the basic electronics was like 2 Marines teaching the class, and they were just so like didn't want to be there. It was like an easy duty station for them. They just wanted to go home every day. They're just like, I can't wait to go home. You know, like they had that attitude.
Here's this, and you're like,
yeah, they're just going through slides. They're just going through the PowerPoints already existed. Yeah, they just had to read the slides. Like, yeah, that was their job.
And as you see here,
they just happen to have the same like job as us in the military. They just were like, oh, we'll take a training duty station. We get to stay on shore. We don't have to go on a boat. We don't have to fucking go out in the middle of nowhere and work on jets in Afghanistan.
Fuck. Well, being a Navy, one thing is like, what I think my buddy works as a fisherman. He's actually on a boat right now, and I always ask him like those series of questions. It's like, how dark is it out there? And he's like, it's fucking terrifying. And he's like, it's you're on the middle of ocean and pitch blackness. Like you literally can't see.
Oh
like,
yeah, dude. It'll let your imagination
run wild.
Like, go pretty crazy. Yeah.
Like I keep
Like-
seeing this video of that's not my friend. It's some dude who actually works on shit. But he's like, "You guys hear that?" And there's like siren noises and shit. And there's like things falling on the sides of the boats. And I was like, "It's like looks like fishing line, but okay."
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've seen that video too.
Oh, you're
It's a
talking?
little-
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
And I'm just like, as much as I would love for that to be real, dude, but
It doesn't. It's not convincing. Like,
no, it's not
it's not
convincing.
convincing. Like-
There would be proof, not lot, and not this.
yeah, that seems
Animal
pretty
Planet.
crazy.
Yeah.
At this point in time, like there would be more videos of that.
Oh yeah.
If that was a
Especially
thing, there would be more of that.
How many people go on cruises each year? How many cruises
Yeah.
are there?
Cruises. How many military like, you know,
Yeah,
the military does way more than cruises. Like,
and you know
there's
there's
people
gonna be
with
one
phones on-
jackass
yeah.
that's gonna be like, look at that.
well, they do it all the time. You can look up fucking people's YouTube videos who are in the military. They take fucking camera shots off the boat all the time. It's the middle of the ocean. You can't tell where they are.
It's fucking so scary. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Even
It'd
in
be
the
cool to be
daytime.
proved wrong. It's just like in today's news, a giant monster swallowed up a ship, and you're like, well, we're fucking wrong.
A monster.
Yeah, just a monster. Cthulhu's real. Today's in headlines. Cthulhu is real and has sank 2 major vessels.
Swallowed a submarine whole.
Swallowed a submarine. Didn't even bite. Just one.
Deep throated a nuclear submarine.
Deep throated a nuclear sub. Fucking great. I love that shit. That makes me happy.
Just launch the missiles, dude.
Just launch the missiles.
Just if you're already inside, just launch them.
Honestly, that's how I want to die. Like if I want to die, I want to die some fucking like really kooky way. Like some.
That's
Like-
kooky.
Yeah, dude.
Being in a nuclear sub,
And
being
getting eaten
swallowed
by Cthulhu. Yeah, that's pretty kooky.
and then you have to launch the nuclear missiles to kill Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's pretty kooky. That sounds like a fun time. Sounds like a fun death.
I could see that.
Gabriel Iglesias playing in the background. I can be your hero, baby. This is for you, my love.
Should be a movie.
Sasquatch,
like a-
Sasquatch versus Cthulhu. What's another movie? And I'm
I
nowhere
was
there.
thinking more like a. Oh, what was that puppet movie? Fucking Team America.
Team
2.
America.
It'd be Team America 2. Like,
We're here to fight Cthulhu. Fuck yeah! Like,
yeah, that'd be the end of the movie. They like get deep throated by Cthulhu.
oh my god, they blow up. Yeah, I'd watch that. I watch the fuck out of that. I watched Orgasmo. That movie was great. Mormon porn star.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
actually doesn't do any of the porn.
Is that what it's about?
Yeah, Orgasmo is about he's an actor. No, he's a Mormon and he knocks on someone's house and they're like, we can use you for porn. So he's the actor in the porn and then they bring in a stunt cock to do all the sex scenes because he's Mormon.
Yeah.
And then there's like, it turns into a real superhero called Orgasmo. When he shoots you over the Gasmo ray, you orgasm. It's made by the creators of South Park. It is a fucking brilliant movie. You've never seen it?
No, I'll have to look
it's
it
so
up.
good. Oh God, yeah. If you like South Park, you'll like that. It's fucking hilarious.
A stunt cock.
A stunt cock, yeah, because he's Mormon. He can't use his cock on film. He can't have sex with anybody. So they bring in a stunt cock, and he does all the sex scenes.
Wow.
No. Stunt cock. Learn
So
more.
why is he even there?
Just because he's a good actor and he knows karate. He knows kung fu. That's it. He's a good actor.
Because he knows kung fu.
Yeah.
A Mormon guy that knows kung fu.
Yep. He knows how to fight. And they need a lead Orgasmo, so he's a superhero. And then his sidekick.
How many Mormon fighters are there, like in real life?
Oh, I don't even know. Are there Mormon fighters?
That's what I mean. Like, how are there any?
Are there?
You know, are there any Mormon dudes in the UFC?
Let's find out.
That would be interesting. I don't think that goes well with the.
I need pictures of Spider-Man. I was gonna throw that out there. Mormon MMA fighters. Let's look at that.
Should be that close, anyways.
Mormon MMA fighters.
No.
MMA fighter shares the Book of Mormon on TV. The fuck is this? Who's this guy? Diego Brentel. Benditos is fearless when he steps in the ring. He is also fearless about isn't fearless about sharing his faith. There you go. I guess he's a Mormon.
All right, so they exist.
They exist. There's another one, Steve Young of MMA. There you go. I think these are fucking So I guess Mormons can kick ass because if they're like, fight this guy, and I was like, he's an MMA. I'm like, yeah, probably not. I'm not gonna win. That's Joseph. You got the power of Joseph Smith on his side.
That's scary.
Right? I saw a video just like of people asking these Mormon questions, like if you can go back in time, where they go, and they're like, oh, Joseph Smith, and I was like, I go talk to that motherfucker, but I want to see these plates that he buried and lost. Like, where the fuck did you come up with this idea? Aliens, dude.
Yeah, just talking to him wouldn't be enough.
No, he's just
he seems like he's really convincing. He's probably got a lot of charisma.
He might be. He might like roll like he's playing Skyrim and he's like 10 in the charisma.
Yeah, he's just like really good at talking to people.
He speech checks everything. He always passes 100%.
Yeah, he just like talks you into it. You're like, I would never believe Joseph Smith. And then like you have a conversation with him, you're like, dude.
That'd be a good That'd be a good fucking YouTube video. It's in the style of Fallout, but it's Joseph Smith talking to everybody, and it has gives them the 3 options, and one of them says speech on
just
it.
Keeps convincing them.
Oh my god, I'd watch the fuck out of that.
Would you like to talk about the Book of Mormon?
What would you do?
It's just like yes, success.
How did this happen? Then they're like, oh, I found this and I buried him and I can't find him. And they're like, I don't really think so. And it's just like, oh, I think so. And it's speech check. And it's like, you passed. You're like, I guess so. This is it.
It's like, but really, they were from God.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, well, in that case.
I mean, I don't know. I'd rather, if I had to deal with any, like, if I had to pick between Mormons and Scientologists, I'd probably go with Mormons, though. At least they're nice, kind of. And, like, Scientologists are fucking... That's a cult. That's a fucking cult.
Yeah, it's a scheme.
It's a scheme, and they protect like shitty,
it's worse than
scummy
a cult.
People.
It's a worse than a cult.
Oh yeah,
dude.
it's a business. It's a fucking. It's a fucking.
It's a front.
It is. Elon Hubbard's really not dead. He's just on an island somewhere, just fucking.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bang.
Fucking sucking down stem cells every
sucking
day.
down stem. Fucking no, dude. Fuck. Religions cover like I don't. That's just the shitty thing is like religions cover up so much like criminal activity. It doesn't matter who it is. Like the Catholic Church and priests, fucking Scientologists and Danny Masterson.
Yeah, they have so much incentive to cover it up.
It's gross. Like just like I know it's gonna hurt your. I think honestly, if you were honest about it, I think it'd make you look better in a real life. Be like, listen, we didn't know this person. We this shit like happened. We're distancing
Are you
yourself.
talking about taking accountability?
Yeah, taking accountability. that thing that
Hell
people should do.
Fuck no.
What's that?
That sounds like a bad idea.
The only priest that ever take accountability is the one from the fucking South Park episode where you're trying to fight against it.
Yeah, if you take accountability, then you can only do horrible things once.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry. If you don't take any accountability,
yeah, then you can't keep doing it.
You can't get away with it no more.
Yeah. So
like fucking Harvey Weinstein. Like
obviously you wouldn't want to take accountability if you're doing something shitty.
I'm just glad that fucker's in jail. I'm glad all these gross people are going to jail now, finally. That's the thing. Like, our society has, like, cameras and proof to back it up now.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, like, how many shitty fucking sociopaths are in Hollywood?
A lot.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one, dude.
No, I know, but it's slowly, some of them are starting to get taken down.
He's just the easiest one to, like, pin to the wall.
You know what I hate too about society as well? It's like our society that we live in, that like people like paint themselves to be in such a good like Ashton Kutcher. Like I thought that dude was a good dude. So I learned like his fucking all the charity work is shit. All the like sex trafficking stuff that he works with is pretty much shit.
It's all fake.
Yeah, it's all just like a publicity stunt and shit. And I'm like, dude, and then he wrote this shit for like, for his friend who's a piece of shit. And you're like, fuck you, man. Like you painted this whole light and now like, but I'm glad that like we have the ability to like, hey, you know what? This guy's a piece of shit. Look at all the shitty shit that he's done.
Well, he's a rich person, dude. Like, he's not connected with real life.
I know.
So maybe he has good intentions, but like he did it all wrong with actually like bad methods that are like not really like in his mind he's good intentions, but in reality it's like disrespectful and like what the fuck are you doing? Like
that's just the hopeful side of person inside of me. Like I always try to be that positive, hopeful people.
Yeah.
And like
he like set it up and he's like, yeah, this is gonna be the best ever. It's gonna be so great, and it's like all neglected and people are just taking advantage of it, and it's just like really shitty. And he's just like, no, but look at all this great work I'm doing.
Yeah, and you're just like, you're not doing any good work.
You're not doing anything at all. Like what the fuck are you doing?
Step back and then
there's a lot of that.
But then it's nice. Then we can shine a light on people who actually do real shit and actually help here, discredit this organization that doesn't actually do anything, but like here's a bunch of organizations that actually do stuff. So I mean,
to be a successful actor that is consistently putting out work and running like
a charity or not a charity, but like
a
just like
nonprofit organization that's supposedly like busting child trafficking rings, like that doesn't add up, man. Because both of those things take a lot of time.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Just hurt my heart.
He's
Just
an
hurt my
actor.
yeah. It just sucks that these people have such wide outreach to like help people, and they just don't, or they just create more problems.
I wonder how much of it is real, though. You know, like it's easy to look at something and be skeptical, but it's like it's hard to sift through all of it.
All the bullshit to find out if it's real or not. It's the sad thing is like there might be people out there that's doing like general work, like really good work, like actors.
There's definitely people out there doing good work,
but it's getting
happens.
But now they're gonna get even more scrutinized because one dude said he was doing something that he wasn't.
Oh, that happens all the time.
I know.
I
hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it though.
That's just like the next week's news. Oh, somebody else was doing something shitty. Like, oh, we thought they were good, but really weren't. The only one that's like really holding strong is Keanu Reeves, man.
What a saint, dude. What a fucking beautiful man. Even when he takes pictures with women, he has his hands
he's like
fully open. He's like, I'm not getting in fucking.
Yeah.
But I mean, that dude's been through some shit too, so I think he really had a good understanding of life too. Like, money can't buy happiness, and he found that out, unfortunately, like the really saddest way he could. So like, it's just money just. But then like he's just a good dude. He's just a good-hearted dude, and I like that shit. Like Keanu Reeves is. Brendan Fraser's another one. I feel like that's another good dude right there that just doesn't
like connected.
Like, has been through something that defies the odds of him coming back. Like, I think if you've had some like major personal trauma that like really never affected anybody else but you get a better understanding of the world. Like, he got taken for alimony payments that were fucking obscene, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to some asshole ex-wife, and like. Got sexually harassed and got blacklisted, but then like finally came back, and he's like super appreciative of everything he does and everybody he works with, and like you don't see that kind of like genuine stuff in people anymore, I guess.
Yeah,
it's really sad. So like him and Keanu Reeves are like two genuine people like out in the world. Like if anything ever like bad came out about them, I think the world would kind of crumble a little bit, because it's just like you need some sort of hope that. There is some good in the world out there, even if it's just the smallest flicker of light. Like, I think if like, a pinnacle that we look at as goodness or just like wholesomeness turns out to be just like an utter disgusting person, and just like, you kind of lose a little faith in humanity, and that like, you can be more skeptical about shit.
Like The Rock.
Isn't he an asshole? Like, I heard he was an asshole. Like, and that's so sad.
Yeah,
like,
he's just like, it's just.
And then you have John, and then like I hate to like do it and then jump over. Then you have John Cena, who actually does good shit and is a really good person, but like then you kind of question it because they kind of come from like the same background and shit.
John Cena is he's a clown, dude. He's a clown. Maybe he does good shit, but it's like there's a lot of shit he does. Like I feel like he does it, kind of like just how I described with Ashton Kutcher, like.
I feel
he has
like,
all these good intentions, and he tries to do as much as he can.
I think the only good thing that he's actually done that I'm commending him on is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like, you can question it all you want, but after holding the record of going to see that many kids, you can't really question it anymore. Yeah. Like, he's really actually done that. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything else he might have done is not cool, but like him actually going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, he actually goes. He's actually there.
Honestly, I think that I respect him. Like for all that he does it so fucking much. Like he's constantly doing shit, constantly working. You always see him in stuff and like commercials and fucking TV shows and like the Make-A-Wish thing. Like
that's the thing.
When does he do something that isn't like being an actor on camera? He's constantly fucking working.
Maybe he doesn't like who he is as an actual person, and that.
Well, isn't that all actors? Come on.
Yeah, that's true. That's the reason you act, I guess, is just to not to beat you for a little bit.
Or if you want to like do like be somebody else for a living. Like,
no, I've never wanted to be an actor. I've always wanted to like not be an actor, but I've always wanted to be like have a small part in a movie.
I've
We, like,
I've
fuck
always wanted
around.
to do voice acting.
That's fun.
Voice
Yeah.
acting would be fun.
I think the method actors are the ones that take it too far, your Jared Leto's and shit. Those are the really people who I think
Yeah.
have a problem with being with themselves. Like
That's-
honestly,
that's probably
and
that's
then
probably
they
true.
overtake
like a
this
mental illness.
Yeah, it's like
that
they
come-
overtake this role.
yeah.
Like, dude, like calm down a little
Their
bit.
outlet is acting.
Yeah, and that's
Like-
all they do is just
Like Heath Ledger and people like that. Like their entire life is just, I have to do this role. Like that is it. You know what I mean?
like Tropic Thunder is a good example. The dude, Robert Downey's Jr. character is a prime example of taking like he doesn't like
Yeah,
who
that's
he
like
is
the
as a person.
satire
Yeah,
version
yeah.
of it. Yeah, but exactly that.
I think
Like,
those are I actors to an extent. I think they want to act and they like playing someone else for a bit, but they do like themselves. But I think ultimately the people who embody like another person, like straight to another person, are the people who do not like themselves and do have a problem with themselves.
yeah.
It's fucked
I
up to
mean,
think about.
What's the ratio in Hollywood of people who are okay with themselves as opposed to like hating themselves?
Let's say it's half and half, honestly.
That's like a really bad ratio,
I know,
actually.
yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
That's
because,
pretty
like,
bad, dude.
You
But
got,
yeah,
you got
I
Jared
guess
Leto,
I
you
could
got
see that.
Benicio del Toro, wherever the fuck his name is. He's a good actor. Like I'm bagging on their,
Yeah.
I'm backing on Jared Leto's acting skills. Fuck Jared Leto, but the other people are good. They just take it too seriously. Like even Jim Carrey, like fucking, he embodied fucking Jim. What's his fucking name? Andy Kaufman. He was Andy Kaufman.
I love that movie.
That's a great movie. I'm just
so
saying,
much.
but
honestly, like, yeah, that makes sense though. But that would be fun. That'd be fun to embody Andy Kaufman though.
have you watched the documentary on that movie?
No, I haven't.
Ugh, rough.
Is it
It's
rough?
rough. It's real rough, dude.
I'll have to do. What is it?
I can't remember
know
what
what
it's
it's called?
I'll look it up and send it to you. But there's a
Okay.
a small documentary about just Jim Carrey just getting too much into Andy Kaufman and just being like just utter
Toxic.
just toxic person. Yeah,
Like
because,
everybody
like-
hated it. Or
Yeah,
what?
yeah, like he's annoyed people.
Like he took it too far.
He took it too far. Yeah, just like Jared Leto did, sending condoms and interacts with people. Like who the fuck does that? Like, yeah, you want to preserve a legacy. You want to you want to do this character justice, but like. You know, outside shenanigans of making your cast and
You have
crew
to
just
leave it
fucking-
on film.
Yeah,
Like,
leave
you
it on
can't-
film. Like when you step into that film, okay, go into that. But when you're coming off the set and you're being that person through and through, stop.
I like the idea of like Andy Kaufman's humor.
Oh yeah, I love
I
Andy
can,
Kaufman's humor.
see how it could be toxic though, but just to do something like that's fucking out there just for your own entertainment, like who gives a fuck what the audience's reaction? Actually, if the audience is disgusted and shocked, it's even funnier. Dude.
Yeah.
Like that is hilarious to me. Like I love shocking a whole room. You know, I'll say something that everyone in the room is just like
What the fuck did you just say?
what? I'm just like,
But you're you.
all right, I got what I wanted. Like, sorry guys.
But you're
like-
you. That's you.
Yeah,
That's you.
Yeah,
as the
that's
person.
yeah,
That's-
but like
mhm.
that's. I feel like Andy Kaufman is like 100% that.
exactly.
You know,
but-
just wanting to see the room fucking just like
and
what
that's
fuck?
what made Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey didn't need to do that off
No,
the set.
and like I feel like
they-
he was just maybe he was just trying to practice 100% of the time. He's just trying to practice it all the time.
Yeah,
It's just like maybe Andy Kaufman didn't actually do it as much as Jim Carrey did.
No, I think
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
I think Andy Kaufman, like I think behind closed doors, Andy Kaufman was a pretty sane person, but when out in public, he was crazy. That's the persona you want to put out there. He's
It was
like,
fun.
yeah, it was fun. You never knew what the like.
Yeah, dude.
Still to this day,
I
like
wish I could do that.
there's still debates if Jerry the King Lawler and Andy Kaufman really hated each other. Like no one really officially knows. Like I think you know.
The running jokes.
Yeah,
That's
where it's like
fucking
yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah,
dude. That
but
shit is so funny.
I think he's come out and said that it was a joke at the point, but people still think that it's serious to this day. Like it's just like they played it off so well. Like, and that's who. But like I believe
Dude,
behind
that'd be
closed
fucking
doors.
so fun to do something like that. I would love to be like do that with the podcast. Like fucking get someone all mad and just keep having them back on the podcast, and we just get
here.
arguing like about something every single time, and they
Like-
just walk off every episode.
Like Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel. Ever seen that shit?
No.
It's so fucking funny. They I don't you can't tell if they really hate each other or not. But look up Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel. You get a
Well, it's
good
like
fucking laugh.
Between Two Ferns.
Oh fuck, I love that show.
There's some funny lines, but once you understand like the circle that they're running in, like it's all like the just super fucking into Hollywood, like deep circle, like all the liberal fucking it's all the same like circle of people.
I just like how mean they get with it.
But yeah, they get super mean, but it's all fake.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You know,
no,
it's
that's
all
why I like it so much, is because they play it off. Like if you didn't know, you potentially be like, this is real?
It gets cheesy.
I love
like
it.
the first couple of the clips I saw, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, then the questions start descending.
And then like
madness.
I think the one that got me, it was like an early one. I think he had was it Leonardo DiCaprio?
I'm not sure. I don't remember the early
one of them spit in his face. One of the guys spit in his face. It might have been, I don't know, but like once that happened, I was like, that was bullshit. This is all fucking bullshit. He knew that was gonna happen because he just sat there and took it. He spit in his face and he just sat there like, fuck you. Like, dude. If that was real life, he would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're gonna. Eric Andre's show is Andres. I don't know what the fuck his name is. He does.
Eric Andre?
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, that's real shit. That shit he does, I'm like, fuck, man.
You know it's real because there's a lot of awkward cuts.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of cuts that don't make sense. Like, things kind of move where they're not supposed to, and, like, things are a little different in the next cut. And, like, that's because it's fucking real, dude. They can't cut and, like, set back up and then, okay, action. Like, they don't do that, dude.
Especially when he's destroying half the set most of the time.
They do one whole cut. That's why you see dudes run up and like replace the desk real quick and run out of the fucking stage crew for that show. They're busy. They're always doing something like behind the scenes.
I think it's getting close to the time when I gotta go.
Oh yeah, you gotta take off, man.
And what time is it? Yeah, it's almost 4.
Cool, man. Well, it was a good episode. I had a lot of fun talking.
I'll come back again.
Yeah,
I like your hair.
Thanks.
Your facial hair looks really good too.
Yeah, you have a cool beard too.
I just want to sit here and compliment you for a few minutes.
Our beards are similar.
Your hair is nice.
Don't ever cut it. Pretty much.
I don't ever really cut it. I trim it down a little bit before because I work in a school and I'm a financial aid advisor. Believe it or not.
Yeah, there's some sort of control you have to do. Like, I had a buddy I worked with. His beard was like, he looked like a prospector. You know, his beard was like super long. He had like 4 or 5 hairs that were just like a little longer. He does like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
I never cut those ones. Those are my friends.
Do something, please.
Those are the special ones. The extra long ones are the special ones. Those are the ones you name.
Yeah.
Like you got this long one over here. It's like
he'd probably think about it. He'd probably come up with names if he heard you right now.
Think about names for your beard hairs. That's what
his name is Larry. Shout out to Larry.
What was I going to say? Thanks for having me on.
Anyways, you want to plug your band or anything?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm in a band called Killed By A Yeti. We have 2 shows coming up. We have one in October. Forgot the date. I think it's like the 21st. But it's a charity event for cancer. Lots of great fucking heavy bands. We're the least heavy one on there, which is rare for us. We have another one in November called Desert Gray, which is awesome. And then shout out to my Fortnite friends because I told them I would so they can listen to this episode. So Trap and Torkelton and Dabs and fucking there's a dude named Pushing Orphans. And then really his name really never registered to me until it's like, yeah, my name's kind of bad. And I was like, you're pushing orphans. Oh, yeah, you're pushing orphans. Are you pushing them off a cliff? And he's like, no, I could be pushing them to positivity. And I was like, let's go with that.
Well, I mean, selling is another word for pushing, right?
Yeah, I'm going to sell these orphans. That's even worse. I'm selling orphans. Come on down, get your orphans. We're selling orphans today.
Another name for that is human trafficking.
Yeah. Oh my God. We live in the worst world. I think we live in one of the worst timelines.
There's got to be worse ones, but there's probably way more better ones.
Yeah. There's probably one where me and you are both actors in great movies and shit.
There's probably one where this podcast is like, you know, the top podcast and Joe Rogan's not alive or whatever. You took Joe Rogan's place and now you're like. That's what I meant to say. I got a little grim there, but
you and Joe Rogan switch places. I'm talking to Joe Rogan right now and you're famous.
We're friends.
Like,
I'll be number 2.
I'll be number 2.
You could keep number 1. I'll be number 2.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah,
I believe you can have a successful podcast.
I'll be the top music podcast. I'll still be making money.
I'm proud of you, dude. You're doing a good job. A lot of the episodes you've been putting out are pretty good.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I've been enjoying them.
Eventually, I'll try to make some money off of this. But for now, I'm just kind of like fucking around, having some people on. It's pretty fun.
Thanks for having me on twice. First time doesn't count.
Twice.
This
The
time
first
did.
one was like a ghost episode. Doesn't exist anymore.
No, but we talked about pretty much the same thing we did this time, except with more inclusions of aliens. Because there's more stuff that came out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, real quick. I got 5 more minutes. Aliens in Mexico. Do you think those were real or not? Let's
No.
end on that. No, they were fucking fake as shit,
Absolutely
weren't they?
fake.
Okay, yeah, they're absolutely fake.
That's
Cool.
stupid. They should be embarrassed.
Whoever believes that, it should be fucking
The
ashamed of
Mexican
yourself.
government should be embarrassed
Oh,
that
they-
even happened.
Well, it wasn't them that they that did it. There was this dude that brought it to them, and they're
yeah,
like, and it's just
the
like,
fact that they let it
they
even happen
engaged-
on
yeah,
camera,
the fact
is
they even
fucking
engaged it.
embarrassing.
Okay, yeah, I'll
like
give
where
you
was there
that.
a camera in the room?
Especially the dude has a terrible track record with the same thing.
That's what I
Like,
mean.
yeah,
Like, there
it's
was
just like-
no research done on this guy. Like,
like-
he just let him in. Like, what aliens? Come on in. Let's see him.
I could swear that alien was from Men in Black
Yeah,
1. Like
that,
fucking.
like, I don't know.
That's where I
it
would
looked like
like-
it was a paper mache mold or
It-
something.
yeah,
I don't
and it's
know,
just
dude.
like-
it looks stupid.
And then they did
But,
scans of it, and they're like, "There's insides of it," and there's like no insides of it. It's fucking all bullshit.
yeah.
I don't know. That's what I want to end it on. Thanks for listening.
All right, man. It was good having you.
It was good. Thank you. Bye.